The Hoppers have crossed the Tennessee River and now sit right next to the Ohio River here at historic Brooks Stadium as they took their first trip over to Paducah to take on the Chiefs for the second time this year. Hello, everyone. My name is Colin Crothers, bringing you today's action here live on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Hops are hot right now. They had a big win last night to move to 7-1 on the year, now sit in first place after Full Count dropped their first game to the Miners, but it was a 10-9 win on the road against the Henderson Flash. A ridiculous back-and-forth game. The Hoppers at one point trailed 5-0. They had a 3-home run third inning. They had a solo shot, a 2-run homer from Evan Jacob, and another solo shot from Connor Scheidt, the first in that inning from Chance Sweeney to make it 5-4. The Flash would respond and make it 8-4 with a few runs of their own, and then Gage Montez shut them down for quite a few innings before the Hoppers eventually took a 9-8 lead courtesy of another Connor Scheidt 3-run homer. And then when things were tied at 9 apiece, it was Mark Harmon that came through with an RBI single, and Edwin Woodward, the closer, to shut things down. That's where they're at right now. The Chiefs are coming off a win as well. They've got back-to-back wins, both by a run, one at home against the Miners and one on the road last night, 6-5 over the Fulton Railroaders. We look at the last time these two squared off. It was back at Tiger Field at the home of Hopkinsville High School, which of course is no longer. But it was a tight ball game. The score was 10-5 at the end in favor of your Hoppers. And beside it being a 5-run win, it was really close and back and forth for a while. And, gave a lot of fans quite the scare, but the Hoppers were able to come away with the win and add a lot of insurance in the back 2 innings of the game. But now we focus our attention right here for game number 9 of the season. The Chiefs have a 4-3 record, and again, your Hoppers are 7-1. The weather today, it's nice and sunny, but that comes with plenty of heat and plenty of humidity. It's about 85 degrees here in Paducah, Kentucky, with about 65% humidity. It's very icky right now. You can definitely feel it as soon as you get off the bus here in Paducah. I'm calling today's game from a booth they have set up for us, which is very nice and, spacious. It's cool, but it is also a little bit of a death trap, a little bit of a heat wave that just sits in here. It's solid air with no movement, so I've opened up the windows as best I can. But again, let's take a look at the starting lineups now as we're just about set for Game 9 of the year for the Hoppers. 1 through 9, they'll be at the plate first. To lead things off will be Cole Reynolds. He'll be playing shortstop. Right behind him will be Chance Sweeney playing center. In the 3 spot, Dom Hartman will be playing third. In the cleanup spot is Brennan Mueller, the DH today for the Hoppers. After that, we've got Easton Beatty in right field, Declan Riggs in first, Reed Hayes in left field. In the 8th spot will be Cade Wall playing second. And the round things out, Carson Knowles will be today's catcher. On the mound to get things rolling for the Paducah Chiefs, they have number 10, Kaysen Mitchell. They get us rolling, a freshman from Brescia University, who's a right-handed pitcher standing 5'9" and 170 pounds on the mound. He's from Bardwell, Kentucky, and just about ready to get things rolling here for today's bit of action. Again, talking about the heat, because I'll talk about it a bunch of times, it feels like going down to the Caribbean for a weekend after spending a whole month in the frozen Arctic. You went from straight cold to the hottest spot you can think of, and it's really hard to adjust. And I'm sure the players will be able to get through it just well. As now we are finally set for the first pitch in today's game. Mitchell going through the windup, delivers to Cole Reynolds, and we are ready and good to go. Pitches a ball as we're underway from historic Brooks Stadium. Reynolds back in the box as a right-handed hitter. For the second pitch, the 1-0 comes to the plate. It's swung on and dribbled up to the left side, grabbed by the third baseman, thrown over the first, and a good stretch by Jace England on the bag for out number 1. Quick one out there, as out the plate, of course, will be Chance Sweeney after the 5-3 ground out. Sweeney had a great day yesterday, going 2 for 5 with a home run and a triple. He got the 2 hardest ones to get. The home run, of course, coming in the 3rd inning, 1 of 3 against the Flash in that inning alone. First pitch he sees of the day, he'll swing on and foul towards the Hoptown dugout on the right side. Count is 0-1. As we got a red-on-red matchup today. The Hoppers are sporting their red tops with the black sleeves, gray pants, as the Chiefs, their red tops as well with white pants. Second pitch, foul out of play on the left side, and Sweeney's in an 0-2 hole. So when this gets to the base pads, of course it doesn't matter as much in baseball, but it could be a little confusing for you guys watching here on the stream. On look in as Mitchell accepts the sign, now delivers to the left-handed hitter. The pitch is on the outside half and misses for a ball. Nice setup here with the stadium. Good stands behind home plate. A deep fence in this one. Chance Sweeney over on the right side is fouled out of play, and we'll do the 1-2 all over. Looks to be about 335 down the lines, 400 into the gaps, and dead center field is about 425 where the flagpole is when you see it when we go back to the wide shot. Mitchell long pause. And now accepts the sign. Goes through the windup from the belt to the plate. Sweeney fouls it off again in the same spot, and he stays alive. Sweeney again, a Auburn Montgomery Warhawk, who so far this year has a .316 batting average after his 2-for-5 night against the Flash. 6 hits, 1 single, 2 doubles, a triple, and a pair of home runs. Next pitch misses outside, counts even 2-2. And after the next pitch, we'll go through the defensive alignments for the Chiefs here in the top of the first. Still 1 out, a 2-2 count. Pitch now to Sweeney. Is fouled out of play on the right side. Let's look at the outfield for the Chiefs. In the left will be Javon Andrews. Andrew Dixon in center, and Jack Robinson playing right. In the infield, starting at third, will be Landon Gilbert, a new face for the Chiefs, as well as Jackson Subsea over at short. You got Maddox Cope at second. Jace England over at first base. And, of course, the catcher, Carson Reed. Next pitch on the outside, called strike. They'll ring up Sweeney for out number 2. Now at the plate in the 3 spot will be Dom Hartman, playing third today. He got into yesterday's game, pinch hitting late in that one for Alex McGuire. He had saw 1 at bat and got a single off of it, came around and scored off an RBI single from Harmon. His first pitch, a curveball that he fouls out of play on the left side. Harmon steps out and steps right back into the right-handed box. As Mitchell finally starts to work through and delivers to the plate, he leaves it upstairs above the letters for an even 1-1 count. Hartman's been solid again this year so far. He leads his team in 28 at-bats as well as 5 steals. He gets moving when he's on the base pads. He's got a .321 batting average for the Hoppers so far. 9 hits for him as he tipped that one backwards and hit it again on the backswing up the right field line. So the count now runs 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the first as Mitchell looks to retire the Hoppers in order. Takes a long time between pitches, a train sound in the background, and it will distract and freeze up Hartman as he is called on a fastball on the outside half. Back-to-back Ks as they go 3 up, 3 down. When we return, we'll see the pitcher on the mound for the Hoppers as we head to the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first here at Brooks Stadium. Zach Hampton gets the starting nod for the Hoppers on the mound. The freshman from UMHB has made one appearance so far where he went 5 complete innings against the Henderson Flash at home. In that game, gave up 6 runs, all earned on 7 hits, 3 walks. A hit by pitch. He also struck out 5 batters and 100 flat pitches. To begin things here, he'll face Jack Robinson, the right fielder. First pitch he'll throw. A little chop and, swing over on the right side for strike 1. In the order for the Chiefs, they'll see Jack Robinson, Jackson Supsky, and Trey Dooley. The first 3 at the plate with Andrew Dixon in the cleanup spot. 0-1. Back up the middle is gloved by the second baseman, Cade Wall. Throw over the first. Good stretch by Riggs, but not in time. I was going to say he reached safely with an infield single. So Jack Robinson gets on. Jackson Supsky right behind him. The shortstop who did not face the Hoppers last time these two squared off. And for a pretty obvious reason, he wasn't with the Chiefs last time when they made the trip over to Hopkinsville. He's a late join for Paducah. So he now sees the first pitch from Zach Hampton. It's high and inside for ball 1. Supsky is a freshman at Wabash Valley. So far, he has 7 at-bats with only 1 hit, that hit being a home run. Next pitch, a called strike, evens the count 1 ball and 1 strikes against Supsky. He didn't record any stats with Wabash Valley, but is listed as a utility guy for them, as well as for the Chiefs. Swings at the next pitch, over into the left field gap. That gets down. The center fielder, Chance Sweeney, holding one in towards third base as he takes off. The tag is there. They got him! Jack Robinson tried going first to third on the gapper, and instead is picked off at third for the first out. So instead of 2 on or just a runner on the runners on the corners, Supsky just replaces Robinson with the single on first base. Back-to-back base hits, but only 1 man on. That brings up Trey Dooley, the DH today for the Chiefs, stepping into the right-handed box. Stands 6'1" and 200 from Camden, Tennessee. First pitch he sees from Hampton, lifted into left field. That'll get down in front of Reed Hayes, who gets it back in the infield quickly. Runners on first and second. That's 3 consecutive singles now for the Chiefs. They are getting to Hampton quickly. As again, you look at that last start he had against the Flash. Gave up 7 hits in that one. The Flash were able to connect quite a few against them, as Hampton did throw well in that start. He was in the zone consistently, only walking 3 guys, but they were able to knock him around and string a lot of their base hits together, and that's why they scored so many runs. First pitch he throws in the cleanout spot out towards left field. Reed Hayes doesn't have to move an inch, and it's right to him. For out number 2, that's Andrew Dixon with the pop-out. Throw goes into third, and the runners stay put right where they're at with 2 outs now in the bottom of the first. After Dixon's out there in the 5 spot, Maddox Cope, the second baseman, approaches the plate. Cope, last time he faced the Hoppers, he went 2 for 4, also reaching on a hit by pitch. As Hampton from the stretch is now set from the rubber. Goes from the belt, up, delivers the pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 1. Cope is a freshman at Shawnee Community College, where this spring had a .294 batting average with a .387 on-base percentage. The on-base percentage is carried over in the summer. The batting average not so much. There's a pitch right down the middle for strike 1. He's got a .158 batting average so far with the Chiefs. That's 3 hits on 19 at-bats. But he also leads this team with 8 walks for a .448 on-base percentage. So he has seen the plate very, very well. Next one is popped up behind the plate and eventually fades out of play into the stands. Count now runs 1 ball, 2 strikes against Cope. With still runners on first and second and 2 outs. Cope, middle infielder from Benson, Kentucky, stands 5'9", 175. In the right-handed box to face the right-handed pitcher. Hampton, who steps aside, now set, delivers to the plate. And this one goes out towards right field near the line and is foul. That one had quite a bit more tail than you would have expected, especially with the air dead right now. A little bit of wind pushing out in that direction. But nonetheless, it's still stagnant enough where the humidity will wear these guys down a bit. Count still 1-0. Hampton looks in, accepts the first sign from Knowles behind the dish. Pitch is delivered. A ground ball over the Hartman at third, across the body over the Riggs, who scoops it up for out number 3. 3 straight singles, but nothing comes across for the Chiefs. We're still scoreless here as we head to the second at Brooks Stadium. We'll be right back with more Hoppers baseball in Paducah after this break. Through 1, we're still scoreless here in Paducah, Kentucky. Hoppers went 3 up, 3 down in the first inning, so they'll begin with the leadoff batter being in the cleanup spot. Brennan Mueller, the DH today for the Red and Black. He got in yesterday for a pinch hit spot for Easton Beatty. He reached on a 5-pitch walk and then was pinch ran for by Nathan Jessup. He did face the Chiefs last time, the 2 squaring off. He went 2 for 4 with a walk in that one. Now set as Mitchell back on the mound, delivers his first pitch. Mueller swings through it for strike 1. Also have to remember, it wasn't just a typical 2 for 4 day. He had 2 homers, both, and back-to-back at-bats. The 0-1 pitch from Mitchell is in near the knees and low for ball 1. Again, Mitchell plays at Brescia University, where this past spring he appeared in 12 games, 10 of them he started in. As he now delivers the 1-1 to the plate, it runs inside for ball 2. Count is 2-1 against Mueller. In those 12 appearances and 10 starts, he recorded a 3-3 record with a 5.94 ERA. He also pitched 47 innings. Mueller lifts one over on the left side and plenty out of play into the stands, and luckily does not hit anyone. Counts even 2 balls, 2 strikes. In those 47 innings of work, he gave up 41 runs. Only 31 of them were earned, though, on 55 hits, 14 walks, and 36 strikeouts. Mueller, a grounder over on the left side, is soft, is finally picked up by the third baseman. Throw the first is there in time, just barely. Landon Gilbert, the third baseman, loves it, and there's one away. Now the plate will be Easton Beatty, who Brennan Mueller pinch hit for last night. That's after Beatty began the day going 0 for 3. Did better, though, when he faced the Chiefs back at Tiger Field. First pitch he sees from Mitchell is a slider outside. Started way too far on the outside half. He gets that to start in the inside, and it'll run across the width of the plate perfectly. The 1-0 now as Mitchell works through the windup, and it is off the end of Easton Beatty's bat. So after he dipped out of the way, he accidentally threw his bat a little forward. And the count now is 1-1. The last time he faced the Chiefs, he went 1 for 3. He also had a walk and a hit by pitch in that game. As Beatty now reset. And the 1-1 pitch now to the plate goes to the curveball, and it breaks too late. Stayed high as it crossed the plate. And it's now a 2-1 count. As Beatty settles back into the right-handed box. Beatty stands 6'1", 170 over there. Battling Mitchell, who now comes with a 2-1 pitch to the plate. It's over on the left side to the third baseman. Gilbert gets it off one hop, throws over the first to Jake Singlin with about 2 steps to spare for out number 2. Pair of 5-3 groundouts is how we get started here in the second inning. As now they'll face Declan Riggs, who will walk up to the plate. He's the first baseman today for the Hoppers. He got in last night pinch hitting for Caden Slaughter in the 9th inning. Went 0 for 1 with a double play to end it. First pitch he sees from Mitchell, who goes through the windup, is that curveball that does find the zone for strike 1. Last time these two faced each other, Riggs was in that game, went 2 for 4 with a walk at the plate. As now Mitchell working quickly with the next pitch. The 0-1, Riggs attacks and fouls backwards into the netting for an 0-2 count. Mitchell's got an interesting little windup here. He steps a little backwards, throws the hands over the head as you used to see in the back of the day, I guess. Gives him a little time to not rush through his windup, I'd assume. The 0-2 pitch now, Riggs over to left field down the line and will tail foul. That one did eventually leave the field of play to a little party deck they have down there. I don't think that one has a name like it did last night, though it wasn't very creative, the Lowe's party deck. But there's a little pavilion over there where fans are chilling out on a deck. They've got a little concession over there. 0-2 pitch, yet again, the Declan Riggs in the left-handed box. He'll foul out of play and onto the street right next door. Horsebrook Stadium, home to the Paducah Chiefs. It's been home to plenty of teams in the past. We'll talk about its history throughout this one. It's also currently home to the Tillman High School, their baseball team. Pitch is inside for ball 1. Count is now 1-2, the Riggs. And right next to the baseball field, there's a beautiful softball field home to Tillman's high school softball team. On deck behind Riggs will be Reed Hayes in the 7th spot. And in the hole currently stands Cade Wall, looking for their first at-bats of the day. Mitchell, long stare, and finally goes through the windup and delivers. And Riggs swings through it and misses for the 3rd strikeout already for Mitchell on the mound. 3 up, 3 down. Yet again, the Hoppers go back to the field as they are still tied with no score. Bottom of the second, Zach Hampton back on the mound for the Hoppers, following up an very exciting night for the Hoppers on the road to Henderson, Kentucky, also on the border with Indiana like Paducah is. Hoppers struggled at the plate at first. They couldn't bring anyone across, and then they finally exploded in the third inning and waited a little bit while longer before the seventh inning when they finally took the lead. So back in the bottom of the second with Hampton on the mound, we will see 6, 7, 8 due up for the Chiefs, starting with Landon Gilbert, who was not with the Chiefs yet the last time these two squared off, as Hampton now set for the first pitch of the inning. It's called a strike at the knees to begin the bottom of the second. Gilbert, a freshman at Rend Lake Community College. Excuse me, they have two Gilberts. That pitch now misses his own. Count is 1-1. Gilbert is not that. That's a different Gilbert, Josh Gilbert, that they have on the roster as a left-handed pitcher. This is Landon Gilbert, who's going to be an incoming freshman committed to play at Cleveland State. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and popped up on the right side and eventually out of play. Count runs 1-2 against Landon Gilbert, who is from Bowling Green, Kentucky, stands 5'10", 185 in the left-handed box to face the right-handed Zach Hampton. And Hampton did play last night. He was not a pitcher, though. He played second and appeared at the plate for the Hoppers. As he now works through to deliver the 1-2 pitch, goes to the off-speed and misses outside. We look at Hampton's evening at the plate against the Flash. He was batting in the 2 spot, where he had a 2-for-4 effort, also reaching on a walk. Next pitch is lifted on the left side and out of play into the stands. Going to wait to see if anyone can catch it today. Everyone so far been shying away from the baseball. A few kids in attendance with gloves, though. They know the deal. They know that there'll be plenty fouled into the stands, and they had a chance of snagging a baseball. That one out towards the right center gap will find some grass. He's rounding first hard and will be held up as the throw comes in from Chance Sweeney in center. It's another leadoff single for the Chiefs. It's their 4th base hit of the day already. Score is still 0-0 as Carson Reed, the catcher, comes up to the plate. Reed did play last time against the Hoppers, that he didn't start in that game. He was catching, as his first pitch from Hampton is a ball that just misses outside. Carson Reed came in after there was a collision at the plate between Declan Riggs, who's playing first again today, and the Chiefs starting catcher, Austin Wilson. Riggs was coming in from third to score. Throw removed the first, not in time. He was coming in to score, and Wilson just happened to be right in his way. They both collided, no ill intent on either side. And Wilson was pretty banged up afterwards. Next pitch, a fastball runs too far inside. Count is 2 balls and no strikes now against Carson Reed. Reed in the right-handed box, stands 5'10", 170 from Mayfield, Kentucky. Next pitch misses as well, and Zach Hampton has a 3-0 count delivered to Carson Reed. Reed's a freshman at Vincennes University. A .364 batting average. Next pitch is a called strike downstairs. It counts now 3 balls and 1 strike with still no outs here. In the bottom of the second, you've got Landon Gilbert standing over on first. Hampton looks over the first, now set from the stretch. The pitch towards the plate, a curveball that's in the dirt. And there's a walk to follow at the base hit. That's the first walk of the day for Zach Hampton. Remember, it was just this that piled up on him last time he was out on the mound. It was, again, solid from him. It was just that when a 1 hit came, a bunch came. And one walk came, a few others followed it up, and they all just piled on top of each other. At the plate now is the first baseman, Jace England. First pitch now to the plate. He squares around. It's bunted to the left side in the air, and McCartan can't get to it. In the lineup and on the sheet, it lists Carson Knowles as the starting catcher. That is, though, as my eyes didn't deceive me, Ryan McCartan catching today. He didn't start last night's game, but he did come in to catch the bottom of the ninth as his Saginaw Valley State teammate Evan Woodward was on the mound to close things out. That one's right down the middle for strike one. Strike two, excuse me. Forgot to update the scoreboard. England last time these two played went 1 for 3, but also reached on 2 walks. And you're hearing plenty of walks for the last time. As that one's down the right field line, will be fair. It'll be quickly thrown in from Easton Beatty in right field. The runner comes to the plate. It is caught way in front of the plate, and that will be a run for the Chiefs. Landon Gilbert comes all the way around on the RBI single with runners now on the corners. That'll bring up the 9th spot, Javon Andrews, who also went 1 for 3 with 2 walks last time these two played. And you hear that. It was a lot of guys getting on last time these two played. A lot of walks as Hudson Hamilton at the start in that one. Called strike to begin the at-bat to Javon Andrews. Behind him was Carson Knowles, and Gage Montes came in before Evan Woodward slammed the door shut for a 10-5 win. The big issue for the Chiefs, they just didn't string things together as well as some other teams have against the Hoppers. That one's a pop-up in the infield. The first baseman, Declan Riggs, calls everyone off and will grab it for out number 1 in the 2nd inning. So with 1 away, we head now back to the top of the order with Jack Robinson, the right fielder, stepping into the right-handed box. He began the game with a single and was thrown out by the left fielder, Reed Hayes, trying to stretch a single into a moving all the way over the third. His first pitch is a strike. It was a single by the man on deck, Jackson Subsky. He was standing on first and tried going all the way to third on it. Ended up not being the right decision. 0-1 pitch from Hampton is on the inside half, too far away from the plate. Count is 1-1. Now the Robinson, who plays at Mount St. Joe University. He had a 2.56 batting average there as Hampton now set from the stretch with a 1-1 count and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second, Hampton delivers the pitch, and it's ripped and through the 5-6 gap. That'll bring in another run on an RBI single, and Hoppers trail 2-0. It's been like this the past few nights for the Hoppers, where they've given up a few runs, and they've had to make a comeback. They had to make a comeback, of course, last night against the Flash and the night before against the Fulton Railroaders when they trailed 6-0. And will have to do so again for the 3rd consecutive night if they want to grab another win on the season. In the 2 spot, Jackson Subsky, who had a single in the first. Pitch from Hampton over into shallow right field. It's just on the edge of the grass. Declan Riggs finally steps out of the dirt and catches it. He's got both outs in the inning. 2 are away. Now Trey Dooley in the 3 spot walks up, who also had a single. A little bit of theme right now. He also had a single in the first inning. That moves Subsky over the second base before it was a fly out, a ground out to finally end the first. The score now 2-0 in favor of the Chiefs. Dooley again still has only that 1 hit so far against the Hoppers. He swings through the next one for strike 1. He plays at Rice, but it's been, obviously before this week and a half of Ohio Valley League action, 15 months since he's seen action after an injury. So did not play with Rice this spring, and it was well over a year ago that he last saw the field. Next pitch, a called strike. The count's 0-2. Dooley has only 1 home run so far this year. Doesn't have much else to show for what he's done at the plate. He's got a strong bat, but he's been over-swinging a little bit. Next pitch is not going to find the zone. Counts 1-2. McCartan was ready to throw down for strike 3. They're saying that he's pretty much over antsy at the plate right now. Dooley is. He's swinging at stuff that probably isn't there, almost trying too hard to get on base with a single instead of letting the pitch come to him. Next one's a grounder over the Dom Hartman that gets through and under his glove. Throw comes in from Reed Hayes. They'll send the runner from third home. The throw is off, McCartan grabs it, and two are in scoring position. The run comes across, and the Chiefs have now plated 3 in the inning. That's Chase England that scores from second base on that play. That moves Robinson over to third base, and, of course, Trey Dooley over the second. It's a single, and he does advance on the throw. Does get an RBI out of it, as now we'll see Andrew Dixon in the 4th spot, the 8th batter to come up this inning, and face Zach Hampton in the bottom of the second. First pitch to lefty hitter, we'll see. He swings that over on the right side to Declan Riggs, who flips it over to Hampton, who's covering first, and they've got the final out of the inning. Riggs a part of all 3 outs in this one, but the Chiefs score 3. They've got a 3-0 lead as we head to the top of the third here at Brooks Stadium. It's a hot one here in Paducah as the Hoppers trail 3-0 after a bottom of the second where 3 runs came across on a few RBI singles. They did that on 4 hits and 1 walk in the inning as they saw 8 come to the plate. We now flip to the top of the third where Reed Hayes will come up for the first time today in the 7th spot to face Kason Mitchell, who's gone 3 up, 3 down in the first and second inning. Reed Hayes, the left fielder today. His first pitch and off speed, he's way out ahead of and cannot connect on the swing. He's behind 0-1. Hayes did not play last night, nor did he face the Chiefs back at Tiger Field, so it's his first time taking on Paducah. He swings at another one, a slider in the dirt, and he's way ahead of it. Cannot read the spin. 0 for 2 right now as he steps back out, resets, and I think he just told himself, hey, I know that one's going to miss there. You know not to go after a spin like that. The 0-2 now to the plate goes back to that slider, and it's way further outside for a ball. I was about to say, if he didn't go back to that slider, I would be beyond shocked. I don't know why you wouldn't. So decent pitch selection there, just didn't have the location whatsoever. Too far outside to even be considered a chase pitch. The 1-2 goes back to the slider and fools Hayes as he pulled his head on it, and there he'll be struck out on 4 pitches. Already 5 Hoptown batters have received a K from Mitchell on the bump. As now we'll see Cade Wall, the second baseman, approach the plate. Wall, a native of Russellville, Kentucky, who stands in the box now. Finishing up his sophomore year with the U.S. Sports University. He fouls one over on the right side and into the netting. For an 0-1 count, Wall, the same as Hayes, did not play last night. Did not face the Chiefs last time these two squared off. Is a local guy somewhat to Hoptown. Played at Logan County High School. That pitch is the curve in the dirt. The count's even 1 ball and 1 strike. With Logan County, played 4 years of varsity baseball and basketball, where he was a district champ in basketball in 2024, his graduating year, as he fouls one on the left side and is behind 1-2. He also was a district champ in baseball, but that was back in 2022. So his sophomore season. Stands 6 foot, 150 in the right-handed box. The face of the right-handed pitcher, Kason Mitchell from Brescia University. Looks in, accepts the sign, goes through the windup and the pitch to the plate. And Wall will stay alive on the 1-2 count, fouling one backwards. On deck is Carson Knowles. It'll be Ryan McCartan. Of course, that not changed on my part, as it was Knowles for the most part until the last minute. McCartan gets the start. His next pitch comes in and misses high. Even count now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. But after McCartan, we'll see the top of the lineup again. Throw it into the middle infield and will have to be returned by the shortstop. The sun's still beating down on everyone in the infield and the outfield, but a little shade starting to come over the Paducah dugout. Pitch is just too far outside, and we have a walk for Cade Wall. He's the first runner aboard for the Hoppers, and this one is now Ryan McCartan. The catcher comes up after his birthday yesterday. Again, happy birthday to him. He turned 20. Also celebrated the birthday with his quote-unquote host brother, who was turning 9. First pitch of the at-bat is a off-speed called strike on the inside corner. If you're unfamiliar with how summer ball works, a lot of these guys come in from colleges all over. McCartan coming from Saginaw Valley State in Michigan. He's also from Lake Orion, Michigan. Throw goes over the first, Walls back in safely. So he stays with a host family around the Hopkinsville area. They let him stay there, and they also receive free tickets to games to come attend and support Hoptown Hoppers, so a little incentive. As the pitch called a strike 2 on the outside half. But the families consist of who knows what type of family makeup. There's so many people, so many different dynamics. McCartan's family does have a younger boy as he fouls one out backwards, and he was turning 9 as well. So over the weekend, they both celebrated their birthdays together. So not only are you just staying with someone, you're bonding with a new family. I am, of course, doing the same. Staying down in Clarksville with the Montoya family. Shout out to them for being fantastic, not only hosts, but people to be around. Throw over the first again. Cade Wall is back in safely after the tag was applied by the first baseman, Jace England. Mitchell now set on the rubber, looks in for the sign, and accepts. The pitch to the plate. And it's called strike 3 against McCartan. 2 strikeouts for the 2 outs in the inning as we head to the top of the order. There's already been 5 put away via the K in this one. Not a number you really want to see. If you go back to last Tuesday, one and only loss so far for the Hoppers. They played at full count and were struck out 15 times, 11 times by their starting pitcher, Caleb Pika. And that absolutely hurt them. Cole Reynolds, the batter at the plate in the right-handed box. His first pitch of the at-bat. He'll hold off on as the runner takes off from first to second. Cade Wall sliding in and is thrown out, caught stealing by the catcher, Carson Reed. Well, there's your third put away as Cole Reynolds will be back at the plate in the 4th inning. But we've only seen 9 so far as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Chiefs look to add on to a 3-0 lead. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Paducah Chiefs as we enter the bottom of the third at Brooks Stadium. The Hoppers so far, no runs, no hits, and 1 error against the Chiefs. 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. They've looked fantastic at the plate. Getting a quick start as they already, of course, have 6 hits through 2 innings. They begin in the bottom of the third with Max Cope at the plate. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it out of play backwards for strike 1. Cope was the only batter not to come up and face Hampton in the second inning. But back in the first inning, he ended it with a ground ball to the third baseman, Dom Hartman, who has the 1 error today. A curveball lands in the middle of the zone, and the count's 0-2. Hampton's working quickly, not taking any time between any of the pitches. That one goes in towards left field. Reed Hayes runs in towards his left a little bit and catches it for the first out of the inning. 1 away quickly, and that's the first time this inning, or this game, excuse me, that Hampton has gotten the leadoff guy out. In the last game, again against the Henderson Flash, he only got 3 leadoff outs in the 5 innings he pitched, so a solid number. That'll be the first today. Well, following him up is Landon Gilbert in the 6th spot, playing third base today. He started the second inning with a single. As Hampton goes through the windup, his first pitch to Gilbert in his second at-bat, a called strike in the corner. Hampton again, the next pitch is fouled out on the left side into the netting. He's already behind 0-2 in the count to Landon Gilbert, a high school graduate from Bowling Green, Kentucky, committed to play at Cleveland State. The 0-2 pitch, and Hampton leaves one upstairs for ball 1. And Hampton just finished up his freshman year with Mary Hardin Baylor, where he recorded 13 appearances, as that one is swung on and hit over a blooper to Cole Reynolds at short, as 2 are packed away and sent back to the dugout already for the Chiefs. P6 now brings up Carson Reed in the 7th spot, who reached on a walk and came around and scored in the second inning. And those 13 appearances for the crew for Zach Hampton. He threw 49 total innings, giving up 33 runs, 27 of them earned. First pitch, the next at-bat, called strike in the zone to Carson Reed. Looking to go 3 up, 3 down. Working quickly already. The next pitch goes to the off-speed, fouled out of play, and he's got Reed at an 0-2 count. Zach in the last game had a 63% strike percentage. And we're looking to dial it back in right now. That one's ripped up the middle in towards center and will be a 2-out single for the catcher. The Chiefs can't go the inning without putting someone on. They've got a runner on first with still 2 outs in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up in the 8th spot Jace England, the first baseman for the Chiefs. England also an incoming freshman, just finished high school. First pitch he leads as the runner takes off from first to second, hesitates and slides in safely as the tag and throw was late from McCartan. There's the first stolen base of the day. That awarded to, of course, Carson Reed. As we focus our attention back to Jace England with an 0-1 count. Coming to the play at Dyersburg State Community College. Puts one up the middle, a soft lower roller, as Cole Reynolds picks it up and throws it over with his momentum, headed to first in time for the 3rd out. So the Chiefs do get one on, but nothing else to come from it. Hampton gets 3 of the 4 batters out with a fly ball, a pop out, and a 6-3 ground out. We head now to the 4th inning. We played a third. The Chiefs lead 3-0. Third of the way through Game 9 of the season. The Hoppers trail 3-0 to the Paducah Chiefs. They won Game 1 between the Chiefs. 10-5 back in Hopkinsville. That started off a little sloppy right now in this one. They have no hits and 1 error, giving up 8 hits so far on 3 runs to the Chiefs. They led the whole time against Paducah at home. This one looking like a replica of the past few days where they trail and will have to make a comeback. They'll hope that it's a pure replica, as they were able to come back against the Railroaders after trailing by 6 and the Flash after trailing by 5. Cole Reynolds back at the plate to begin the inning as his first pitch misses for a ball. He started the game with a ground out to the third baseman, Landon Gilbert. Next pitch comes in from Casey Mitchell, who's still out on the mound. It's fouled out of play, even to count 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitchell, again, from Bardwell, Kentucky, pitches at Brescia University. He finished up his freshman year, but before that, played at Carlisle County High School in Kentucky. As he now goes through the windup with the 1-1 pitch to Cole Reynolds. It's a strike on the inside half, 1-2. They just announced here at Brooks Stadium that if the Chiefs deliver a strikeout in this inning, that for the rest of the inning, it's half-price hot dogs for those in attendance. The 1-2 for Mitchell, and it's outside. As here with the Hoppers, as I assume you are listening, I hope they don't get those half-price hot dogs, but if I was in the stands, I wouldn't greatly appreciate that. Not going to lie. The 2-2 pitch, out towards left field, down the line, and it'll tail foul, excuse me. Wow, it was about maybe a couple of inches from landing fair. Instead, Cole Reynolds returns back to the box with still an even 2-2 count. Look at Reynolds here so far. He's looked good in a Hoppers uniform. It's his second summer down here in Hopkinsville. He leads the team with 10 hits, 9 of them being singles, which is also the most singles on the team. Also leads the team with 9 runs. The 2-2 pitch outside, and the count now runs full. Mitchell seeing about 3.5 pitches per plate appearance, so he's made decent work of all the pitchers he has faced so far to get on. The full count pitch is out of play into the parking lot on the right side. And a lot of oohs from the crowd, as I assume that sounded like it hit a caller. I can't see from my vantage point. Also couldn't really hear it, so I'm going to trust the crowd on this one. Count still 3-2. Works through the windup from the belt to the plate. Reynolds foul tips one back to the backstop, and he'll stay alive. Again, deeper stadium compared to yesterday, where head coach for the Hoppers, Chris Benny, called the Flash Field a launching pad at the plate. You saw that with 4 homers for the Hoppers and 1 for the Flash. Definitely a very different ballpark here. Will be taking a lot more to send one a home run out of this park. Foul tip again from Cole Reynolds. He tipped it off his foot and will hop down the line a little bit before starting to trek back to the right-handed box. And then reset for yet again a full count pitch. Again, Reynolds at Cumberland's, home of the Patriots, an NAI school in the Mid-South Conference, where he'll be facing Gage Montes next year, who's committed to Freed Hardman. Freed Hardman's also in the Mid-South Conference, so Hoptown teammates will be playing each other next spring. And that one gets off the elbow. They're going to call him out. It's a strikeout. They're going to say he leaned into that pitch, and it's half-price hot dogs for the Chiefs fans. Chris Benny's going to walk out real quick just to ask the home plate umpire for an explanation. I'll be very objective right now and say it really, really looked like he leaned into that one. Not going to say he did on purpose. I'm going to be honest, because I don't know if Cole Reynolds would. He does have the elbow guard there, so and it looked egregiously obvious. So there will be strikeout number 6 of the day for Mitchell on the mound. And now we see Chance Sweeney in the 2 spot after a long drawn-out at-bat. First pitch fouled off on the left side, 0-1 count. Go back to Reynolds real quick, though, with how long that at-bat was. 55% of his 17 at-bats have been listed as quality at-bats going into this game. Explained it the other night, but if you weren't here, that just means he did something good at the plate, as that one is a swing and miss from Chance 0-2. It can be a base hit. It can be moving a runner over. It can be a sac fly, and also be an at-bat that's 7 pitches or more to bring the pitcher's pitch count up and help your team in the dugout. Next pitch, a grounder on the right side, is plenty foul near the Hoptown dugout on the first baseline. And we'll do the 0-2 over again. That dugout's definitely receiving a lot more sun right now as it's still starting to set over the left side of the field. As the 0-2 pitch now comes into the plate and is thrown all the way to the backstop. A fastball slipped out of the hand. And the count is 1-2. Yeah, that sun setting over on the left side out of play. We'll shadow Paducah's dugout first, and the infield starting with third base right now. And so eventually the outfield is covered probably near the very end of this one. The 1-2 pitch, Sweeney lifts one shallow left field, a blooper that is caught and hung up there in enough time for Javon Andrews to get to 2 up, 2 down for the Hoppers. They've only got one guy on so far on a walk. He was caught stealing, that being Cade Wall, going from first to second. So we haven't gotten out of the 1-2-3 in the innings so far. Dom Hartman comes up, who struck out looking to end the first inning. The U.S. Sports University Eagle leads this team with 5 stolen bases, also has a .321 batting average. Next pitch is ripped up the left line, but foul. We'll do the 0-1. They've been making plenty of contact throughout this game so far. Besides, of course, some strike threes on some beautifully pitched sliders from Mitchell. But everything has been foul. They have not been able to straighten out the ball so far today and put one in the gaps or even just at someone in the field. The 0-1 is left inside, count now 1-1. But you think if that continues throughout the game, eventually things are going to come around for them, and they will start putting some in the field of play and stringing a few hits together, eventually start coming around and scoring. That one over on the left side of the infield, backhanded by Stupski at short, thrown over the first. And they've got Dom Hartman thrown out on his way down the line. 3 up, 3 down, yet again for Mitchell on the mound. He's gone that way for 4 innings. He's looking fantastic. The Hoppers are going to have to find a way to break through, but first they're going to have to hold the Chiefs at their 3-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th with Hampton still on the mound. Well, it hasn't been the 3.5 innings you'd hope for as a Hoppers fan. They trail 3-0 to the Chiefs. I will say, though, all 3 runs came in the second inning. Outside of that, the Chiefs have gotten on but not been able to come all the way around and score. It'll be 9 at the top of the order to face Hampton, starting with Javon Andrews at the plate. Swings at the first pitch. Out in left field, going back is Reed Hayes, who leaps and it gets over his head. Bounces off the All-State sign. Reed Hayes brings it back in the infield as Andrews holds up at second with a leadoff double. The third time today, the leadoff guy is on. The first time, though, it is a double for the Chiefs. That'll bring up Jack Robinson, who's got 2 singles to start off his day. And Robinson, the right fielder, who is a redshirt junior at Mount St. Joseph, home of the Cougars. First pitch he sees, left in the dirt for ball 1. Mount St. Joe over in Delhi, Ohio, which is pretty much Cincinnati. I will say that school used to be in my backyard. Tiny D3 school. As the next pitch, the 1-0. Grounder over on the right side. Sakadwal at second, who throws the first to get the force out. And Javon Andrews moves up the second to third base with now 1 out in the inning. Yeah, Mount St. Joe in Delhi, Ohio, who last I heard they were building a new ballpark, actually, for Mount St. Joe in Delhi Park. I have no idea if they did that or not, and I won't act like I did. But they were trying to find a new spot since they didn't really have a true home baseball field. So after the 4-3 ground out, Jackson Supsky comes to the plate with a runner on third and 1 out. First pitch is dotted on the inside corner for strike 1. It's a fastball delivered by Hampton. And now facing Supsky, a Wabash Valley freshman from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Hands 5'9" in the right-handed box. He fouls off a tip backwards. Hampton again has an 0-2 count. He's got quite a few of them. He just hasn't been able to deliver with the final strike yet. That's been 6 punch-outs for Mitchell on the mound compared to 0 so far for Hampton. Goes for the windup. The 0-2 pitch is fouled out backwards, and we'll do it all over. Hampton in the last game had 5 strikeouts he threw against the Flash. Been averaging about 20 pitches per inning that he's thrown. Here's pitch number 55 of the game as it misses upstairs and in for a 1-2 count. So right now he's a little over that 20 pitches per inning. So he works through the windup again. The 1-2 pitch is left there for a called strike 3. Hampton has his first punch out of the evening. And a huge spot to get it as well. They had a runner on third with 1 out. And now with 2 outs, they've got to do something to bring him in. They can't rely on a sack, fly, or anything. They've got to have a pass ball or a base hit or something here. As Trey Dooley, the new batter, with 2 outs. That one's bouncing the dirt, gets away from McCartan. Andrews started to come down and returns back to third. He retreats safely as there's no throw down on the 1-0 count. McCartan got to that one quickly, which was huge. It saved a run there as the Corpus Christi, Texas native gets back on the pitching mound. Continuing to face the right-handed Dooley at the plate. That one is over on a line. The Cole Reynolds, who runs over to his left side and grabs it for out number 3. So a run 90 feet away from scoring, but nothing scratches the plate. The Chiefs still lead by 3 as we head to the 5th inning here at historic Brooks Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Hoppers baseball. through 4. The Chiefs lead 3-0 on the mound. Zach Hampton has thrown 59 pitches to this point. And the starter for the Chiefs, while you might not believe it, he's actually thrown more. Mitchell has thrown 61 pitches, so it's not a lot more, but it's still more. And it shocked me when I looked at it. He has been solid on the mound, not as efficient as I thought, but extremely well. Still has yet to give up a hit as he faces 4, 5, 6 in the Hoppers order, starting with Brennan Mueller at the plate. And Mueller has been leading this team in average on base percentage and hits as well with 10 of them. He'll foul off the first pitch that he swings at for strike 1. Mueller, back in the second inning, began with a ground out to the third baseman, Landon Gilbert. Now steps back in to the left-handed box, a redshirt freshman playing at Vol State Community College. The 0-1 pitch to Mueller outside for ball 1. From Chapel Hill, Tennessee, just under 2 hours away from Hopkinsville, where he played at Forest High School, home of the Rockets. The 1-1 pitch is a curveball that just misses the corner, and Mueller's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch now to Brennan Mueller inside for ball 2. In ball 3, excuse me. Mueller again started his career at Middle Tennessee State, where he transferred from. It was probably really cool to start playing there because his great uncle Dwight Robinson actually played baseball at Middle Tennessee State and ended up being drafted by the New York Mets. So went on to play professionally as that ball is fouled out of play backwards and the count runs full against Mueller. So following in his great uncle Robinson's footsteps, he also committed to play at Middle Tennessee State, spent a year there where he redshirted without recording any stats and was a bit of a two-way. Not much of one, but a little bit of a two-way for Vol State. Swings through the next one. It's caught by the catcher, Carson Reed, and there's strikeout number 7 on the mound for Kason Mitchell. He is slicing and dicing up the Hoppers in this one. Down the 5 spot at the plate will be Easton Beatty, the right fielder, who also grounded out to the third baseman, Landon Gilbert. In the second inning, he was the second out of that one. Mitchell works through the windup, delivers a curveball that finds the middle of the zone for strike 1. Beatty has had a good eye at the plate, leads this team in walks and hit by pitches, but he struggled with the bat so far as that one's fouled out of play. 143 batting average, also leading this team with 10 strikeouts so far. Made contact with just over 52% of the pitches he swung at. So if he brings that number dramatically up, the strikeouts are going to drop quite a bit, and that hits, he only has 3 so far, will greatly climb here in a Hoppers uniform. Next pitch is upstairs for a ball, 1-1 count against Easton Beatty. Also playing at Vol State Community College, where just finished up his freshman year as an outfielder. Goes back to that slider, and it misses for ball 2. Counts 2-2 now. Against Beatty at the plate. On deck will be Declan Riggs in the 6th spot, with Reed Hayes standing in the hole if the Hoppers can avoid going 3 up, 3 down yet again. Mitchell over the top of the head, now delivers to the plate. That's a foul tip, and back to the backstop. Not caught this time by Carson Reed behind the dish. Count still remains 2-2. Beatty's averaging about 4.5 pitches per plate appearance. Here's the 6-1 of the at-bat here. He's way ahead of the pitch, swings through it, and cannot connect. It's another strikeout, back-to-back Ks for Mitchell. He's now thrown 8 strikeouts through 4 2/3 innings of work. I mind you, that's 14 outs, 8 of them have been strikeouts, 6 have not. Declan Riggs, the first baseman, now goes to try and beat Mitchell on the mound. Swings to the first pitch and fouls it backwards. A lot of these batters today for the Hoppers have been dipping their shoulder a little bit, trying to lift one into the gap. Declan Riggs didn't try over swinging, which I don't think any of the guys have. They've just been underneath all these swings so far today. Again, you keep swinging, though. Eventually something's going to turn around. All these guys have really good bats, and you'll get the squaring one up and putting it in the gap. Called strike, and Riggs is in an 0-2 hole. Doesn't matter if you're leading the whole game. It just matters if you're leading by the end of it. So you got to make sure you keep on swinging despite Mitchell's dominance so far on the mound. Pitch is upstairs for a ball, and Riggs now has a 1-2 count against him. Riggs is a lefty that stands 6'1" in the box. Got a 240 batting average this past year. And so far has 3 hits and 19 at-bats. Next pitch misses the zone. And counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. From Highland, Illinois. Has 2 singles and a double so far in a Hoppers uniform. We're going to string out another here. The 2-2 pitch again over the right side. Takes 2 bounces before being gloved by the first baseman and flipped over to the pitcher for some PFP work. Well, you've heard it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 times the Hoppers have gone up 3 up and 3 down at the plate. They trail 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th, halfway through this game on the road at Brooks Stadium. Bottom of the 5th here in Paducah, Kentucky. The Chiefs lead your Hoptown Hoppers 3-0. They've been playing some in-between games through all the innings here. And they just played a game where they had little remote control race cars out in foul territory. And these 3 kids were racing it. They boys will be boys, I will say. They just kept running each other over, trying to beat each other. The one kid also couldn't control his car. He put it all the way out to the dirt and then eventually brought it back and almost ran it into Paducah's dugout. So that kid obviously lost. I don't even know who won, but it was a lot of fun to see them just kind of tackle each other with their remote control cars. But on the mound, it's been Mitchell tackling the Hoptown lineup, getting 8 strikeouts so far. Zach Hampton back out there. His first pitch is a strike to begin against the leadoff batter in the inning. It'll be Andrew Dixon in the 4th spot with 5 and 6 behind him. The 0-1 pitch from Hampton. Swung on and missed. He's got an 0-2 count yet again. It's been the first pitch strike, and then getting him in 0-2 counts quite a bit so far. Back against Flash, just over 42% of the time he had that first pitch strike. The 0-2 on the left side and foul to the 0-2 yet again. Besides that second inning and the beginning of the first, Hampton's looked good. He gave up 3 singles at the beginning of the first inning, though no one scored, and 3 runs all came across in the second. Outside of that, been solid on the mound. That one's fouled backwards, and we'll do the 0-2 another time. Dixon is over 2 on the day with a fly out to left field and a ground ball over the Riggs at first, who flipped it to Hampton, who was covering on some PFP. Hampton works through the windup, and it's fouled out of play. The last inning, Hampton only saw 4 batters come to the plate. It was a leadoff double, and then he got the next 3 guys consecutive. Also saw only 4 in the 3rd inning, just giving up a single. Next pitch is lifted out towards shallow left field. Cole Reynolds, the shortstop, going back and will grab it in the air for out number 1. Now 2 innings that Campton's got the leadoff guy out. That's 2 flyouts over to the left field. That one, though, caught, of course, by Cole Reynolds. That'll bring up Maddox Cope to the plate, who's also over 2 with a ground out and a fly out to left field. First pitch is spotted down the middle for strike 1 on a fastball from Hampton. Hampton was a guy this spring who also, as next pitch comes in, called strike 2. He also gave up quite a few base hits, as he's already given up 9 tonight, but he limited the walks, and that really helped him. He just sets in the zone very, very well. Next one's ripped up the middle and through into the outfield for a 1-out single. So that's the 10th base hit of the day for the Chiefs. But again, while Hampton's given up that, it's only been 3 runs. Something he did again with the Crusaders of UMHB, only giving up 27 earned runs with them on 52 hits. When in doubt, he's going to pepper the zone and just trust his stuff and his defense behind him to get the outs, as he had 44 strikeouts against 18 walks. So you know he's a guy who maybe sits in the zone a hair too much, as that one squared around, pulled back in time, is in the dirt for ball 1. Runner stays at first. That's been a thing that's been told to guys that are looking to get drafted, play at the next level in college, so on and so forth, is you got to have a chase pitch. That one's fouled into the netting. The count's even 1-1. There are guys that literally have been told, I've heard from conversations with professional scouts, hey, you almost throw too many strikes. They know at the plate, they don't have to read a pitch, they just swing. And they know it's going to be in the zone somewhere to go after. The 1-1 is upstairs for a 2-1 count now. And to that effect for pitchers, they lose the ability to say, hey, I'm going to throw this off speed that's going to miss here. Because no matter if it's a changeup, slider, fastball, it's going to be in the zone, and the guy at the plate knows to go after it. Pitch is fouled at a play, even 2-2 count. So having a few pitches miss the zone is honestly really beneficial, because then the batter has to continue thinking at the plate. 2-2 strikes with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Chiefs lead 5-0. Runner takes off from first to second. It's a foul ball on the left side, and that means the runner, Max Cope, will return. Landon Gilbert at the plate, who has a single and a pop out to Cole Reynolds at short. A single coming back in the 2nd inning, and he scored. It was the first run to come across. The high school graduate in the left-handed box to face Zach Hampton. The next pitch is over into left field, flared, and a blooper just lands past the grass for a single. Back-to-back singles now put runners on first and second for Carson Marie, the catcher, who reached on a walk back in the 2nd. And in the 3rd inning, he had a single. He was the only one to get on in the 3rd, though. Steps into the right-handed box to face Zach Hampton. Long pause is now the pitch just swung on and missed, and it's an 0-1 count early. Another first pitch strike for Hampton. Hampton's thrown 75 pitches so far as Reed in the box from Vincennes University. Reed had a 3.64 on, or batting average, excuse me. That one's middle for a strike. It's an 0-2 count on pitch 76 of the day. Reed attended Graves County High School, where as a catcher, he was a nomination for the Johnny Bench Award. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. 3 pitches, and strikeout number 2 for Hampton. Again, he peppers his zone. He's working him quickly. He was able to blow that pitch right past Reed for the strikeout. As now Jace England walks up the first baseman with still 2 on and 2 outs. He's reached on a single that he scored on back in the 2nd, as well as a ground out to the shortstop, Cole Reynolds. Hampton, first pitch, misses low for ball 1. Again, that pitch, that strikeout was only in 3 pitches. And we said it a few times, he's able to get 0-2, but hasn't been able to finish it. And a short at bat. That one's in the zone for an even 1-1 count. Hampton again against the Flash. Only was able to get batters out in 3 pitches or less 38.5% of the time. So his pitch count worked up quickly, only going 5 innings. He's almost done with the 5th here, trying to match the total from last time. Looks back to second, now pitches to the plate and gets a swing and miss on a pitch on the outside half, and the count now is 1-2. Hampton's been settling in ever since that second, has looked really good. Looking for another punch out to get out of the 5th. Set now from the stretch, goes from the belt to the plate, and it's fouled over on the left side. Count is 1-2. As England gets back into the left-handed box. Hampton set. And here's the pitch. Over on the right line, lands foul, and we'll do it all over again. Again, I want to welcome everyone in on this one. As England gets back into the left-handed. Really appreciate having you here today. I had to check on something there. People were saying there was no sound, and I had to double check there is. Count 1-2. Swung on and miss. Hampton with another K to end the 5th. 3-0 lead still for the Chiefs, but Hampton gets out of this one with no damage across the plate. We head to the 6th, still 3-0. The Hoppers looking to finally make a comeback and get their first hit at the plate. Colin Crithers bring you today's action here in Paducah, Kentucky on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. I want to thank you for joining us for today's game. Really glad to have you along for some Hoppers action. In their 9th game of the year, they have a 7-1 record taking on the 4-3 Paducah Chiefs. The Hoppers currently stand in first place in the Ohio Valley League, but that could go to the wayside as we are working quickly through this game. Just about an hour 24 into it, and we are into the 6th. Reed Hayes will lead things off with the starter. Kason Mitchell still on the mound. He's done fantastic so far. First pitch misses for a ball to get things started. Let's take a look, though, real quick at some of the scores around the league as Mitchell goes through and delivers the next pitch. Reed Hayes, dribbler on the left side, is caught off one hop by Gilbert at third. And there's 1 out away on the ground out. In the Ohio Valley League tonight, the Henderson Flash are on the road taking on the Madisonville Miners. That score is tied 5-5. Of course, the Miners had their first win last night on the road against the Full Count Rhythm, who were in first place originally. The Railroaders and Rhythm are also playing at Full Count. They are also tied 2-2. So with 1 out, at the plate now will be Cade Wall. First pitch, he starts to square around on, pulls back. It's a called strike anyways. Ryan McCartan will still stand on deck, the catcher for the Hoppers. As he goes through his delivery for the 0-1, goes with a slider outside for a 1-1 count. And good crowd here in Paducah, Kentucky. Decent split of Hoppers fans also making the trip over. That one's right down the middle, and Wall is behind in a 1-2 count. Wallenday so far reached on a walk, but was caught stealing, trying to go from first to second to end of the third inning. Wallace was a 400 batting average so far. That one lifted into center field is going to be caught by Andrew Dixon. And there is 2 outs. Hoppers still looking for their first hit of the day, as Ryan McCartan will come up to the plate after the line out to center. He has strikeout looking to end the third inning. McCartan from Michigan awaits the first pitch. Swings on it, a ground ball, and it's over the third in time for the out. We have to tell you his story about where he is working this summer in a moment, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Even though the Hoppers trail by 3, still looking to make a comeback as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on Hoptown Hoppers TV Network. Looks like we'll be replicating how the game against the Henderson Flash at home went on the mound after Zach Campton goes 5 complete innings like he did last time he pitched. Evan Jacob will come in for relief in that outing. He went 4 innings going the rest of the way, and he was phenomenal, giving up just 3 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. He's not a typical pitcher. He plays as a catcher. The U.S. Sports University Eagles now on the mound as his first pitch is outside for ball 1 in the order for the Chiefs. You'll see Javon Andrews in the 9th spot in the top of the order. Jacob working through the windup. It lifts one foul out of play, 1-1 count. The line for Hampton is now closed, going 5 complete innings. He gave up 11 walks, 3 runs, and 3 walks. Only 2 strikeouts, or 3 strikeouts as well for him, excuse me. Next pitch, lifted into left field, going back and gone. Javon Andrews, a line drive over the fence for his 2nd home run of the year. The score is 4-0 in favor of the Paducah Chiefs. That's the first run Evan Jacobs given up after going crazy last time against the Flash with 6 strikeouts as a non-pitcher. He said, yeah, it was ridiculous up there. Felt good. It was fun as that one's in the dirt. He hasn't pitched since pretty much Little League. He threw last summer for his summer ball team a couple of innings, but besides that, it was Little League for him. That pitch low for ball 2. It's a 2-0 count. As now at the plate is Jack Robinson, the Mount St. Joseph player from Canby, Indiana. Next pitch misses the 3-0 count quickly. Jake's a guy who's done very well at the plate. Also just won the Player of the Week for the Hoptown Hoppers. Done fantastic at the plate, leading the team in slugging, home runs, and RBIs. That one's fouled out of play. And it's a 3-1 count. Talked about how he likes to get there early for every game and practice to get in a lot of extra work. But he doesn't like to take himself too seriously. Next pitch is right down the middle for a 3-2 count. He keeps telling me that, you got to just have fun with it. You got to keep it light. Baseball is fun. Baseball is a game. If you treat it like more than a game, that's when you're going to start to fail. You have to treat it like a game and have fun to do well. Pitches outside, and there is a walk to follow up the solo home run. And on first, still no out, Jackson Supski comes up to the plate. Well, soon we'll talk about the history of Brooks Stadium. It's an old one. It was built back in 1948 and 1949. As a pitch comes in, runner takes off for first and second. That gets over the glove of Dom Hartman at third. Runner takes off for third base. Jack Robinson will slide in as the throw comes into the infield, and the runners are now on the corners with still no outs. This one looks like it's slipping away, and the momentum is fading, if any could be had for the Hoppers, at least maybe confidence. It's starting to go to the Waite side. Puts Robinson 90 feet away from scoring. Supski on first, and Trey Dooley at the plate. Plays at Rice. He's a guy who is a two-way and can put about 90 miles per hour. 93 is what he gets up to on the mound. First pitch, he swung on and fouled into the plate for strike one. Dooley from Camden, Tennessee. Stands 6'1", 200 pounds. Again, before this summer season, it was over 15 months since he last played on the diamond. Set in the right-handed box. Runner takes off from first to second. Is left upstairs. No throw down. And that'll put Sepsky in scoring position. Jacob going from the stretch. It throws one low in the zone that Dooley's way out ahead of. For strike two, it's a 1-2 count now. Dooley so far in the year leads his team in at-bats, but also with 10 strikeouts. He has a 172 batting average. That's 5 hits in his 29 at-bats. As that one's in towards left field, Reed Hayes got it. Jack Robinson tacking up from third to home. It's cut off by Dom Hartman, who won't throw to the plate. And that'll bring in the 5th run of the game. They'll leave Supski at second with 1 out on the sac fly from Dooley. So after shutting out the Chiefs for 3 straight innings, it brought in another 2 runs. First pitch of the next at-bat fouled over on the left side at the plate. Follow-up Dooley is Andrew Dixon, a left fielder. He's 0 for 3 in the day with a fly out, a ground out, and a pop out in the infield. Jacob looks back to second as he's set from the stretch now. Goes to the plate with a pitch, and it's downstairs. Counts even 1 ball and 1 strike to Dixon. Dixon from Lexington, Kentucky, plays at Wabash Valley. Had a .390 batting average this past spring. He leads the team in batting average, slugging, and home runs for the Chiefs. He swings through one that's upstairs and is behind 1 and 2. Going into the game, he has a .417 batting average, slugging .917, and has 2 homers. The 6'3 lefty steps back in the box. Jacob delivers. Ground ball on the right side. Gets a decent hop over the Cade Wall, who's able to recover, grab it, and throw over the first in time for out number 2. That does move Subsky over in the third base. So they've got a runner right there. But 2 outs away. Now Maddox Cope will come up to the dish, who's 1 for 3 on the day with a single in the 5th inning. Outside of that, it's a ground ball and a fly out to left field. Cope ready for the pitch as he digs into the dirt of the right-handed box. Swings at the first one, and it's fouled for strike 1. Cope from Benton, Kentucky, plays at Shawnee Community College. So far this year leads the team for the Chiefs with 8 walks. 0-1 pitch from Jacob outside the zone. It's an even 1-1 count. That humidity and heat hasn't gone away whatsoever. Might be wearing down the hoppers at the plate who have been struggling to get on. Pitch upstairs for a ball. It's a 2-1 count. Now it's a Maddox Cope with Landon Gilbert on deck, who is also 2 for 3 on the day. Also one of the 5 runs so far. That one's fouled into the netting backwards. Couple fans who were sitting right there shy away. That's why we had the netting, though. Thank goodness everyone can be okay and safely watch some fantastic Ohio Valley League baseball. The 2-2 pitch from Evan Jacob runs inside, goes to the backstop. Ryan McCartan won't be able to get to it in time, and Supsky goes from third to home on the wild pitch. Count's now full as the Hoppers trail 6-0. First wild pitch of the game. Again, Cope. 3 balls, 2 strikes with still 2 outs and no one on the bases. Pitch from Jacob goes into the dirt, and he's on with a walk. Second walk for Jacob in this one. He'll go back to his 4 innings of work last time where he looked great against the Flash. He walked only 1 batter, so he's already surpassed that in his first inning of work for the Hoppers. First pitch over to the Riggs, and he's stepping on the bag. They're going to say it was just foul. He grabbed it while stepping on the bag, trying to get the fair call. Must have landed just foul of the line before he was able to get to it, and it hopped up the last time. Counts 0-1, runner takes off, and it misses for a ball. Counts 1-1. That'll be a stolen bag for Maddox Cope, who actually left for first base well before Jacob threw that pitch. He realized he wasn't even giving him any attention over at first base, so why not put himself in scoring position? It might help here as that one's over in the right center field, but hanging up there for a long time and caught finally by Chance Sweeney. Third out of the bottom of the 6th, the Chiefs score 3. They lead 6-0 as we head to stretch time. Top of the 7th, not stretch time yet. Top of the 7th when we return. 2/3 of the way through this game here, the Chiefs lead 6-0. New pitcher on the mound for the Chiefs. That'll be all for their starter, Casey Mitchell, who goes 6 innings, giving up no runs, no hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. He was near perfect on the day as the Hoppers keep going 3 up, 3 down. The new pitcher on the mound is number 16, a righty, Jake Morris from Hanover College. Hoppers saw a Hanover pitcher last night. It was Rick Burkett who ended up being awarded the loss after giving up the RBI single to Mark Harmon in the 9th inning. First pitch, you'll see Cole Reynolds at the plate, misses low in the dirt near the shoelaces. 1-0 count to Reynolds to begin, as so far he is obviously over 2 with a ground down and strikeout. I guess he's only one guy that's not over 2 so far in the lineup so far today. Fouled off on the left side, 1-1. That being Cade Wall in the 8th spot who reached on a walk but was caught stealing going to second. So Reynolds resets on the right-hand side of the box to face Jake Morris, the 6'3", 220-pound righty. 1-1 pitch is not there, called 2 balls, 1 strikes. Morris finished up his junior year as a native of Indianapolis, Indiana, or for Hanover. And some time. Next pitch misses as well. It's 3-1 the count now. With Hanover this past spring, 7 appearances, a 12.15 ERA, and 6.2 innings of work, giving up 9 earned runs on 9 hits, 13 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Looking to dial back in now. Instead, on a 3-1 pitch, he plunks the batter. It's a second runner on now for the Hoppers all game long. Still no hits for them. Reynolds reaches for the first time today. He is speedy on the base pads. He's got 4 stolen bases, which led the team until yesterday. Dom Hartman had a steal. Then I bring up Chance Sweeney in the 2 spot, the left-handed hitter. The face Jake Morris, who before playing with Hanover, played at Franklin Central in high school. First pitch to Chance Sweeney. Just misses the corner. He tried it with a fastball and could not connect. It's a 1-0 count. Sweeney a strikeout, looking at a fly out to left field on his line so far. We pause. The next pitch comes in. Reynolds takes off for a second. That one in towards center field, and it'll drop. Reynolds takes off for third base. Throw comes in from the center fielder over the third. Reynolds is in safely. Runners on the corners for the Hoppers. There's the first base hit of the day. Chance Sweeney breaks up the no-hitter. Finally, out of respect to the game, I wasn't going to say the word itself, but Chance Sweeney in his 3rd at-bat today gives the Hoppers their first hit. And now they've got a prime opportunity to start chipping away at their 6-run deficit. They've got runners on the corners and no outs. It's Dom Hartman at the plate as Morris delivers the pitch. It's on the outside half, called a strike. Go back 2 nights ago when the Hoppers were home against the Fulton Railroaders. They were down 6-0, obviously way earlier in the game before making a comeback. There is some work in the bullpen for the Chiefs. It's a lefty. Give you his name here in a second after the pitch. The 0-1 out towards right field. Down the line. It's going to land fair. Hartman with a single, and RBI comes across the plate. And there's your first run of the game for the Hoppers. No longer a shutout at 6-1. Cole Reynolds comes across the plate. And how massive was it for him to go the first to third on the single from Chance Sweeney. Back-to-back base hits now. RBI awarded to Dom Hartman. We look at his stats for the Hoppers this season, and that's RBI number 11 for him. That'll bring up Brendan Mueller to the plate. Mueller on the day has a ground ball to third baseman and a strikeout. But what was I saying almost all game long? Keep on swinging, and eventually things will line out for him. He starts to sway around, pulls back, is above the head for ball 1. Again, they struggled against Mitchell, who had a no-hitter against them. And as long as they kept swinging the bat, eventually they start straightening it out and finding the gaps and bringing in a couple of runs. Right now they've got one so far, still no outs. Brennan Mueller tries the bunt, pops it into the netting on the left side, and the count now even 1-1. First baseman Jace England playing well in for this bunt coverage they're expecting. The second baseman, Maddox Cope, is shifted well over towards first base, with the shortstop Supsky holding on Chance Sweeney at second. The third baseman Gilbert playing normal. So here's around again down the third base line as fielded by Morris. Over the first, gets away. Chance Sweeney's going home. Mueller takes off for a second. They're to send another runner around. He's coming to the plate. Dom Harmon slides in and scores. Deficit cut in half. It's 6-3. A bunt from Mueller not only brings it across one, but brings in Hartman all the way from first to the plate, and it is 6-3. Oh, my goodness. That'll bring out a meeting on the mound. Still no outs here in the top of the seventh, and the Hoppers are looking to strike all the way back. We'll take a look at the game changer here. Hopefully I can pull it up quick enough to see what that is officially ruled. I believe it's going to go down as an error. It does. It's an error and throw. There's 2 runs come across there. Of course, being an E1 on the throw from Jake Morris. It's been back-to-back nights that the Hoppers have been unloading on the Hanover Panther pitchers, who I've been told from a good friend there, Nicky Gutzweiler, grew up with him, plays at Hanover right now, told me that a lot of their pitchers a little bit wild and were set to work on their control into the zone here in the Ohio Valley League. And Jake Morris struggled with it so far. First pitch, next at bat, a called strike down the middle to Easton Beatty, who steps up, the right-handed hitter. 0 for 2 start with a ground ball and a strikeout. Morris longs there back over to Mueller on second. Squares around, down the third base line, and just dances foul. Would have easily been a single for Easton Beatty because he has some tremendous speed going down the line. And they were not quick enough to get to that ball to throw him out. Also would have put Mueller on third base instead. We'll return with an 0-2 count, a runner still on second. No outs in the top of the seventh inning. Score is 6-3. Paducah Chiefs in the lead. Beatty so far this year has 2 RBIs. The runner in scoring position now, though. Morris long stare back to Mueller at second. Now leg kick and delivers the 0-2, and Beatty puts it back into the netting. We'll do the 0-2 pitch again. No work in the Hoptown bullpen. But again, it was not very long that in the bullpen for the Chiefs was Seth Harris, a lefty. Now the 0-2 again. Beatty leaves upstairs and it's a 1-2 count. Behind him will be Declan Riggs standing on deck, with presumably Reed Hayes still in the hole. The 1-2, Beatty leaves way outside on a slider that starts in the opposite box and ends up on the outside half of that box's chalk. Count now even 2 balls and 2 strikes to Easton Beatty from Clinton, Tennessee. Majoring in business management. The pitch over on the left side through the 5-6 gap on the ground. We're going to hold Mueller at third with runners on the corners yet again for the Hoppers. Another single. It's their 4th hit of the inning. Still no outs. Declan Riggs now steps up with runners on the corners. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and that will be the day for Jake Morris. He does not record any outs. We'll see a new arm coming out of the pen. We'll tell you all about Seth Harris here in a minute. So after the phenomenal start on the mound from Kason Mitchell, who went 6 innings of no-hit baseball, it's immediately been squandered by the relief guy, Jake Morris. Doesn't record a single out, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs. Also had a hit by pitch and an errant throw off a bunt that he missed through over the first base. The new arm is a lefty on the mound. It'll be Seth Harris coming in the pitch. He's thrown 3 times so far for the Chiefs, and in those 3 appearances, it's been 3 total innings of work, giving up 3 runs, none of them earned, on 4 hits and 3 strikeouts. He also has 2 hit by pitches so far. Well, he inherits runners on the corners and no outs, as Morris wasn't able to get a single guy back to the dugout with the out beside his name. He throws to Declan Riggs, whose first pitch runs inside for a ball. Riggs a strikeout and a ground out so far today. Went 2 for 4 last time, though. He faced the Chiefs with a walk. Can turn things around right here. Next pitch upstairs is the 2-0 count. You might as well wait for him to throw a strike, though, as the lefty, again, been a little wild with a couple hit by pitches in his 3 innings of work. Stands 5'11", 160 on the mound. He's from right here in Paducah, Kentucky. As he's now set, looks over the first and goes from the belt to the plate. Declan Riggs leaves the off-speed upstairs. It's a 3-0 count. Behind him on deck will be Evan Jacob instead of Reed Hayes, who went in the pitch. Jacob, the player of the week for the Hoppers, and has been one of the best bats in the entire Ohio Valley League. Next one's upstairs, a 4-pitch walk. Loads the bases for the Hoppers with still no outs. The tying run is on first, and the go-ahead comes up in form of Evan Jacob. My only advice I can give right now is outfield, back up. He had a home run yesterday, his 4th of the year, to lead the team with 4 homers. He also leads the team in a few other categories. He has the best slugging percentage of 1,211 and leads the team with 13 RBIs. Bases loaded as the pitch is outside from Harris for ball 1. It's 5 consecutive balls out of the pen for him, as another guy is already getting some work in the bullpen for the Paducah Chiefs. It's number 19, Nathan Bodenberg, a righty, also from Hanover. Evan Jacob down the left field line. It's fouled, and we'll do the 1-1 pitch next. Harris, though, plays at Frontier Community College. He transferred there from Western Illinois of the Ohio Valley Conference, not to be confused with the Ohio Valley League, the Woodbat Summer League that we obviously participate in right here. The 1-1 pitch again with bases loaded. Evan Jacob fouls out of play, and we'll have a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Jacob. Jacob's from Chalmette, Louisiana. Has been fantastic in high school, college, and here summer ball for your Hoptown Hoppers. The 1-2 pitch from Harris on the left side. It is bobbled by the third baseman. He'll step on third to get the force out, but a run comes in, an RBI in the fielder's choice, and the score now reads 6-4. So now runners will be on first and second with 1 out in the inning. Coming across the score was Brennan Mueller. Declan Riggs, Easton Beatty was outgoing second to third, so that'll put Riggs on second base, and, of course, Jacob on first with the fielder's choice. Take a moment now as Riggs is getting checked up on by head coach Chris Benny, and he's starting to limp towards the dugout. This is not a good look. Don't know if he's going to come out yet. He started heading that way and now holds up. I think trying to see if his ankle feels all right. Maybe just rolled it a bit. Hoping for everything to be all right. As at the plate next will be Cade Wall. Chris Benny runs in to leave Declan Riggs on second. A really good sign there, as you don't want to lose Riggs and his productivity in the field as well as at the plate. And he got on with the walk. Wall is the only guy to break up the perfect game against Mitchell, the starting pitcher. He had a walk As he bunts again, it's popped up and will land. He's running the first. He's going to get there safely. It's an infield bunt for a single, and the bases are loaded yet again. Cade Wall might be the bunt machine for this team. He's had a few of them this year that have been satisfactory, to say the least. Fourth single of the inning. That brings up Ryan McCartan in the 9th spot as now the Hoppers have batted around. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tying run on second base in scoring position. McCartan's first pitch outside for ball 1. The go-ahead run right now is now Cade Wall after it was Evan Jacob, but he grounded into a fielder's choice. Next pitch in the dirt outside. It's a 2-0 count. Cannot afford to walk a guy here. Would obviously bring in a run. As that sun's been setting, the lights are our only bit of vision helping us right now. The 2-0 pitch runs inside to the backstop and bounces off hard. And that means Declan Riggs will stay at third and the bases will remain loaded. The 3-0 count. So McCartan don't want to chance something right now, especially with Harris really struggling on the mound. He's not been finding the zone very well. So the Frontier Community College sophomore set again from the left side of the rubber, delivers, and it's outside for a walk. A 4-pitch walk brings in a run. 6-5. It's a 5-run inning in the 7th for the Hoppers. They trailed by 6 and are looking to make it all up in one inning of work. Cole Reynolds comes up to the plate as the tying run stands 90 feet away. Evan Jacob on third, Cade Wall on second, Ryan McCartan on first, and Cole Reynolds at the plate with only 1 out in the 7th. First pitch is a called strike on the outside half. So Harris finally back in the zone. I don't mind that from Reynolds. I like the idea to wait for a strike because Harris has been everywhere but the zone the past few at-bats. Set again. Here's the pitch. Reynolds swings on and fouls out of play on the right side. There'll be no balls and 2 strikes. Reynolds reached in the top of the 7th with a hit-by pitch. And is up for the 2nd time this inning. He was only the 2nd guy to reach for the Hoppers in this game. As he puts one in the right field on the line, it'll just tail foul. The right fielder, Jack Robinson, would not have gotten to the line in time, so if it stayed fair, would have been down for a single at the very least and at least 1 run. Score still 6-5. 0-2 count. Bases loaded with 1 out in the 7th. Cole Reynolds will foul one off again and stays alive at the plate. Again, this is a guy who, when he swings, is going to make contact with it. He's made contact with over 82% of the swings that he's had so far this year. Has 10 hits, 9 singles, and 9 runs so far this year. You can make that 10 after he scored in the 7th. The 0-2 pitch again. Reynolds up the middle is caught on the line. Flip to second. A double play will end it. Chiefs will chop down 2 runs to end the top of the 7th. It was a no-hitter going into the inning, and the Hoppers claw all the way back. 5 runs and now trail by 1 as it's now stretch time. We head to the bottom of the 7th here at Brooks Stadium. We'll be right back as the Hoppers look to remain down by 1. Bottom of the 7th here in Paducah, Kentucky. Your Hoppers now trail only by a run. They saw 10 batters come up to the plate, 5 to face the starter in that inning, Jake Morris, and then 5 against Seth Harris. Evan Jacobs still out there on the mound for the Hoppers. Defensive changes as well in the field. Connor Scheidt now man's first base, as Evan Jacob now set to face Carson Reed at the plate. It's a first pitch ball low to begin. In the order, with Carson Reed, will be 7, 8, 9 due up for the Chiefs as they're looking to tack on some insurance after they felt comfortable all game, and the Hoppers show no quit. Pitch is low, ball 2. Again, playing at Brooks Stadium here. Historic, built in 1948 and 1949. Named after J. Polk Brooks, actually. 2-0 pitch outside, 3-0. Well, I don't expect you to know who that is, because I didn't before this. He actually owned the Paducah base Brooks bus line originally, and he served as the first president of the Paducah Baseball Association, so helped kind of build the permanent home here for the Paducah Chiefs. The 2-1 pitch over on the left side. Dom Hartman fields it, throws over the first across the diamond and sign to Connor Scheidt for out number 1. Now at the plate will be Jace England, who is 1 for 3 on the day with a single back in the second inning that he scored on. Again, this is a stadium that holds about 3,000. Really good setup here as one of Kentucky's oldest ballparks. Pitches outside for ball 1 to begin the at-bat against Jace England. It started off as kind of a minor league park. It's the 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike in the zone. The Paducah Chiefs originally here, they disbanded and were brought back in 2016 to play in the Ohio Valley League. The 1-1 now from Evan Jacob on the outside, half called, a strike, he's ahead 1-2. Jacob gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Struggled a little bit with a few walks as well, walking 2 guys. And he will get one outside. They'll check down to see if he would, and he did! Strikeout there for Evan Jacob. 2 up, 2 down to begin the bottom of the 7th. And as I was saying, Evan Jacob, though he struggled an inning ago, has been lights out for 2 batters here, working quickly as he now faces Javon Andrews at the dish. Andrews, a 5'8" righty in the box from Hobart, Indiana. His first pitch, called strike. Hobart, Indiana, on just the Indiana side of the suburbs of Chicago, which obviously might be a sour spot for a bunch of Chicago fans. That one's into the right center gap. Will find some real estate as fielded quickly and thrown back into the infield for a 2-out single for Andrews. Runner on first and 2 outs, and I'll bring the top of the lineup with Jack Robinson at the plate. Yeah, the Indiana side of the suburbs for Chicago, sour spot for Bears fans after the recent announcement that they might be moving their stadium over there. Pitch misses below the knees for ball 1 to begin to Robinson. It's his 5th time up today. He's got 2 singles and a walk for a 2 for 3 day. 1-0 pitch from Evan Jacob, a fastball on the outside, called strike, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to Robinson. From Canby, Indiana, runner takes off, out towards left field, going back, and is caught. On the run, Chance Sweeney grabs it for out number 3. Hoppers still trail by 1. They played at 5 in the top half of the 7th, and they look to grab the rest as we head to the 8th. Hoppers look to make their 3rd consecutive comeback win when we return. 2, 3, 4 due up now for the Hoppers as they trail by 1. They had 5 come across in the 7th inning, and they look to make another comeback win. They had 11 unanswered against the Railroaders to make a 6-run comeback. Came back from trailing 5-0 last night against the Flash, and we're trailing 6-0 tonight before now, being only down by a run. Well, walking in today, we were actually greeted by maybe one of the stadium's most, I don't know how you put this, their most fluffy fan. They have actually a stadium cat here at Brooks Stadium. It's a little gray cat we walked in and saw. I've been told it's a little stray cat that's been here at least 6 years, and even though it's a stray, he just hangs out around the park, and the people have adopted him as a friend to Brooks Stadium. Pitch runs inside and grabs the tip of Chance Sweeney, just barely grabs him. And it's a hit by pitch to begin the inning. The tying run is now on first. And 10 batters came to the plate last time and scored 5. Dom Hartman now steps up to the plate. Seth Harris comes out, and after one batter he faces in the 8th, we'll see the 4th pitcher of the game for the Chiefs come in from the bullpen. We'll have the new guy seeing if he can stop the Hoppers' comeback in a moment. After one batter came up to face Harris, is hit by pitch on the first pitch. And now it'll be a new man on the mound to face Dom Hartman. Coming in is number 19, a righty from Westfield, Indiana, Nathan Bodenberg. And so far this year, he's made 2 appearances and 2.1 innings of work. He has given up 2 runs, 1 earned on 6 hits and 1 strikeout. Again, he inherits a runner on first and no outs in the top of the 8th, looking to hold on to a 6-5 lead. Dom Hartman awaits the first pitch. Is outside for ball 1. Harris technically only goes 1 inning in this one, coming in for Jake Morris, who also did not record any outs in this game. As Bodenberg set from the stretch, delivers the pitch, and it is a called strike to Hartman. Bodenberg, like Morris before, pitches at Hanover, where he finished up his sophomore year with them. He now settles in for the 1-1 pitch. Runner takes off for a second, and it's fouled off. Sweeney will return back to first. Bodenberg this past spring did not record any stats for Hanover. A D3 school over in Indiana. Counting now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Behind Hartman will be Brendan Mueller. So Sands on deck. Hoppers 7-1, looking to stay atop the Ohio Valley League. Pickoff move over the first. It's not in time. They look to stay in first of the league as they got the first place bid after the Rhythm lost to the Miners at home last night. They're currently tied 2-2 with the Railroaders. The 1-2 pitch, Dom Hartman goes after one upstairs and got all of it, but over-rotated for a foul ball. So while the Rhythm are tied with the Railroaders, the Henderson Flash on the road to face the Miners. They lead 11-5 over Madisonville right now. That's a look around the Ohio Valley League on this June 7th edition of Sunday Night Baseball. Pitch, a swing and miss from Hartman, and he's out on strikes. First guy that he faces. He gets the K as Brendan Mueller approaches the plate. I look down to the Hoppers dugout. Connor Scheidt was warming up a bit to assumably come in the bottom of the 8th for Evan Jacob. Also, don't be surprised if we see Woodward, the closer, for a third consecutive night if the Hoppers take a lead going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Pitch runs inside for ball 1 against Brendan Mueller. So far in the day, he has reached once on an error. A bad throw from Jake Morris. Also has a ground down, a strikeout for Mueller. Throw over the first, tag down, not in time. And Sweeney's back in. Mueller hasn't struggled like this technically in a game so far this season. Not that he's been really all that bad, but he has been almost overperforming in all these games. It's insane how good he's looked at the plate. The 1-0 from Mueller on the right side and foul up the line. Count now to Brennan Mueller. Run 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks over the first and now set from the mound. Bodenberg delivers a pitch. Sweeney takes off for second. It's in the dirt, and Sweeney will have a stolen base. He swipes second, and the tying run is in scoring position. First stolen bag of the game for the Hoppers. Again, before the 7th inning, they were only on the base pads once with a walk. 2-1 is the count to Brendan Mueller. It's outside the 3-1 count now. He had a strikeout against Dom Hartman, but hasn't been in the zone much since. On deck is still Easton Beatty in the 5 spot. Bodenberg, the righty, on the mound, delivers and gets Mueller swinging and missing. Count now 3-2 for Mueller. Mueller does not yet have he has 7 RBIs so far on the year, with the runner in scoring position has been hitting .625. The 3-2 inside for a walk, and runners now on first and second with only 1 out in the 8th. Hit by pitch, strikeout and a walk is how this inning's gone so far as Easton Beatty comes up. He had a single in the 7th inning. Now the right-handed hitter steps back up. That was a single on the left side of the infield. The Clinton, Tennessee native in the right-handed box standing 6'1", 170. Faces Bodenberg, the pitch. A slider finds the middle of the zone for strike 1. Really good pitch there because it started on the backside of Beatty and slid right back all the way across to the point where Beatty dipped out of the way at first before it was called a strike. Goes back to the slider, starts it outside, so it falls way even further outside. Evens the count, 1 ball and then 1 strike as Beatty doesn't bite. Got Riggs, no, to be Connor Scheidt, on deck after going in for Declan Riggs after he got hurt going in the second base. It's a swing and miss from Riggs. And the count runs 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. They've got runners on first and second as the Hoppers trail by 1. They had a 5-run inning in the 7th and look to capitalize on the 5 spot with at least 1 more here to tie things up. Pitch inside the Beatty, misses, and the count's now even 2-2. Beatty with runners in scoring position has been hitting .200 so far this summer. It's better than his total .143 batting average going into this game. 2-2 pitch again from Bodenberg. Beatty tips and goes backwards, and that just missed and got off a little piece of the catcher, Carson Reed, to where he fell down and will have a moment as the home plate umpire walks the next ball out to Bodenberg to make sure he's got plenty of time to walk that one off. It was tipped off Beatty's bat, and I think just hit the shoulder of Reed behind the plate. You still got Sweeney standing on the second, Brennan Mueller standing on first here in the eighth. Beatty steps back into the box and now set for the 2-2 pitch again. Bodenberg looks in, accepts the sign. Is set, goes from the belt to the plate. Beatty up the left field line is touched on third for one out. Over the first, a double play. 5-3 ends it. Hoppers had a chance there, and instead they still trail by one. As we head to the bottom of the eighth, they have to hold the Chiefs right where they are to have to make a one-run comeback with 3 outs remaining in the ninth. We'll be right back with more Hoppers baseball in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Even though Connor Scheidt was warming up, he goes back to first base. Evan Jacob back out on the mound as the Hoppers trail by one. Chiefs fans getting into it as this one is starting to come down to the final out. At the plate right now will be Jackson Supsky. Again, the recent graduate. Plays at Wabash Valley. His first pitch of the inning. Misses the inside half the plate for ball one. A freshman from Shepherdsville, Kentucky, so far on the day is 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Next pitch is right down Broadway for strike one. Evan Jacob, in his first inning of work, gave up 3 runs, then only saw 4 batters come to the plate in the 7th. Had a strikeout in that one as well. Next pitch on the outside half, a fastball called strike. The count now runs 1 ball and 2 strikes against Supsky, the shortstop. On deck is 3 and 4 in the order, with Trey Dooley standing up next for the Chiefs. Next pitch is in the dirt. The count is now 2 and 2. McCartan still receiving the pitches behind the plate. It was his birthday yesterday where he actually had a runner caught stealing when he came in the 9th inning as the battery with Evan Woodward. 2-2 pitch upstairs, swung on and popped up in the infield. Dom Hartman still playing third and will catch it in fair territory for out number 1. That'll bring up Trey Dooley, but again, McCartan came in with his Saginaw Valley State teammate. He's also working this summer. He's got an internship with ETS Performance where he is interning as a strength coach, something he would like to do afterwards. He's studying exercise science at Saginaw Valley State at University Center, Michigan. As Evan Jacob, the next pitch, Trey Dooley swings at. It'll pop up, and Connor Scheit loses it. It lands foul, luckily. He lost all sight of that one. But luckily it was foul, so no real damage, just an 0-1 count that Jacob will work with against Dooley. And McCartan's doing it all. He's practicing, he's working in his baseball career, but also working for his career post-baseball. Pitch inside, 1-1 count. So he gets up early, does that first, and then goes and joins the team for some BP, some work, and then their game, whether on the road or home. Trey Dooley, he's going to put that one way out of here. The second home run that Evan Jacob has given up, both solo shots. Trey Dooley, his second home run of the year as the Rice University player, goes around the diamond and make it a 7-5 game. Exit velo off that one. Must have been screaming, scorching, and lighting up the radar gun. Well, Hoppers, if they want to win this one, are have to make at least a 2-run comeback to force the bottom of the ninth and potentially extras. But now Andrew Dixon in the cleanout spot will come up to the plate, who's leading this team in plenty of categories. He goes over the left side. Dom Hartman chases after it, but it will be out of play. In the bullpen for the Hoppers, they've got number 26, Andrew Mays, warming up, graduate of Christian County High School. As in the opposite dugout, we'll look in a moment. That one, a ground ball over the Connor Scheit, took a weird hop. He's able to grab, races the run to the first, dives and got it. Scheit, head first, goes in the first base for the second out of the inning. The guy is not afraid of anything. His approach at the plate is the home run. His approach in the field is just out no matter what. He's going to take a moment, as it probably knocked a little bit of the wind out of him off the ground out as Max Cope comes up. But again, in the bullpen for the Chiefs is number 25 for them. I believe that is Jet Long. It is Jet Long, a U.S. Sports University player. As we said it a few times, have you been with us throughout the year? Evan Jacobs, one of them on the mound. His pitch misses upstairs. He's one of 4 on the Hoppers roster from the U.S. Sports University. Jet Long, one of them, who came over before the game to talk to his collegiate teammates. They started just picking at each other. That one's in the dirt for a 2-0 count. And they're having fun. You know, it's summer ball. These guys like to meet up and, you know, kind of tease at each other. But this is a fun time for them where they can just play baseball for the beauty of the game in front of plenty of local fans in the area. The 2-0 pitch misses in the dirt. One of the jokes that Long brought up was to Dom Hartman. They're asking each other about their summer so far, and Hartman's like, you know, it's good. And Long brought up, you know what, you haven't done that, though? You know who you haven't got a hit off yet? Me. That pitch in the corner for strike one. So he was joking that Hartman has never gotten a hit off Jet Long, and we return in the top of the ninth. It'll be 6, 7, 8, so he will not be up for quite a while if they get to that point. That one ripped down the left field line and out of play. Counts 3-2. Jacob 1 strike away from sending his team back to the plate with 3 outs remaining to make a comeback on the road in Paducah. Through the windup, the pitch out towards left field has got a decent run, but is sky high, and Chance Sweeney is there to grab it for out number 3. Jacob sees 4 come to the plate, a pop out, a ground out, and a fly out to left field, but in between that, it is a rocket of a home run from Trey Dooley. Your Hoppers trail by 2 as we head to the 9th inning of play here at Brooks Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to see if the Hoppers can make their 3rd consecutive comeback in a moment on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network. Well, coming in for the Paducah Chiefs on the mound will be Jet Long, making his 6th appearance out of the bullpen. He's a right-handed pitcher from Midland, Texas, who attends the U.S. Sports University. He'll face Connor Scheid at the plate, making his first plate appearance of the game after a fantastic day yesterday. He's going to try to get things rolling for a rally here in the 9th as your Hoppers trail by 2 on the road. First pitch, a called strike on the inside half. Scheid yesterday had a 3-for-4 day with 2 home runs, 1 a solo shot, and 1 a 3-run homer. They give the Hoppers a 9-8 lead over the Flash. It was a no-doubter in the right field as Scheid leaves one way outside on the fastball. The count now runs 1-1. Long on the mound, and again has made 5 appearances so far for the Chiefs. He's given up 2 runs, both earned on 2 hits and 3 walks. 1-1 pitch. Scheid unloads on and cannot connect with the swing. He's behind 1-2. Long stands 6 foot and 195 pounds against Connor Scheid on the mound. From Indiana Southeast. Steps back in to the box. Long now works through the windup. The 1-2 pitch goes with an off-speed. It lands down the middle of the plate, and he delivers Connor Scheid his 2nd strikeout of the summer. Kay looking. Begins the inning. 2 outs remain before the Hoppers fall through their 2nd loss of the season. Another dangerous bat. Evan Jacob comes up to the plate on the right side of the box. The Faces' collegiate teammate for bragging rights when they return down to Daphne, Alabama. He starts to go after the first pitch and is fooled on one on the outside. Count is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Called strike. It's 0-2. Long's got a tough bit of the order to go through. He went from Scheid, who we got the strikeout to, who had 2 homers yesterday, to the Hoppers Player of the Week, Evan Jacob, who he's gotten an 0-2 hole. The pitch now from Long. Fools him with a slider outside. Drop 3rd strike. He's tagged by the catcher, Carson Reed. And 2 were put away via the K. Again, look at tomorrow. Hoppers have an off day. You don't want to go into that with a sour taste like last time when they had their off day. They had a loss to the Full Count Rhythm the day before, and then they responded with a win over Madisonville after the break. No one on the base pad, 7-5 lead for the Chiefs. Top of the 9th, 2 outs. Nick Johnson, the pitch hitter now, coming in for Cade Wall. First pitch is upstairs for a ball. Well, Cade Wall on the day went 1 for 2 with a walk. But obviously now they elect to go to Johnson at the plate. With 1 out to spare. The 1-0 pitch. Johnson leaves eye high. The 2-0 count. Velo uptick is pretty good for Long on the mound. He is throwing in fireballs right now to the plate. Counts 2-0 with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Pitch now coming to the plate. And he goes with an off speed at 66 miles per hour. And he's back in the zone for a 2-1 count. Chiefs fans on their feet as the 2-1 comes to the plate. The off speed again misses the zone. And the count is 3-1. Fans displeased with a call from our home plate umpire. On deck is the catcher, Ryan McCartan. And past that would be the top of the order again. But first, the Johnson's got to get on. The 3-1 pitch misses high, a 5-pitch walk. Johnson didn't realize that was ball 4, and finally will take his free base. So runner on, and the tying run comes to the plate. It's Ryan McCartan. Just turned 20. Now here on June 7th, after getting a runner caught stealing yesterday, trying to come in clutch at the plate. First pitch he sees from Long outside for a ball. Long was fired up for their first 2 at-bats, then started to slow down with his delivery and everything in between the pitches, between the at-bats. The 1-0 back to the plate. McCartan leaves a slider outside, and the count is 2-0. That pitch in the dirt, he is really struggling right now. Shakes off the first sign, looks in for a second. Looks over the first after he accepts and now set from the stretch. Delivers to the plate, the 2-0 pitch outside again, and the count is now 3-0. On deck is Cole Reynolds, and he'd represent the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th. Logs there in again from Long. 3 balls, no strikes. Wouldn't be shocked if McCartan has the red light. The pitch from Long. McCartan leaves on the inside for a strike. And he's got the green light yet again. Johnson still stands on first. Wouldn't chance anything right now. Got to have a good secondary, though, to avoid the out at second. The 3-1 pitch at the plate to McCartan is fouled out of play backwards. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here at the top of the 9th. Score is 7-5 in favor of the Chiefs. Tying run at the plate. Long back on the mound. Johnson leads off first. He's set now from the stretch. Belt the pitch to McCartan. He leaves upstairs for a walk, and he is on safely. Oh, boy. A great hold from McCartan. Did not go around, and 2 runners are on for Cole Reynolds. Oh, my goodness. A terrific hold as Caden Slaughter's going to come in and pitch run now for Nick Johnson. So he will be the man standing in scoring position. And McCartan, the tying run on first. Reynolds, the go-ahead at the plate. Reynolds has faced Long so far this year. Has been hitting .750 with runners in scoring position. Came up twice in the 7th inning. Only reached one of those times. First pitch he sees from Long, a curveball in the zone for a strike. Reynolds 1 for 4 in the day, or 0 for 3 on the day. Reached on a hit by pitch that he scored on the first run in the 7th inning. 0-1 pitch now to the plate. Cole Reynolds leads one right down the middle, and he's behind 0-2. Reynolds would be massive to have him on, obviously, to keep the game alive, and also because he is speedy and can come around on just one hit. You got Chance Sweeney on deck, but first Reynolds got to do something with the pitch. Chase fans on their feet. Long goes from the belt, the pitch to Reynolds, and he'll foul one out of play on the right side and stay alive. That's all you need. Again, a guy who's made contact with over 82% of the pitches he swung at. Hitting .588 going into this game on the summer. With 10 hits to lead the team. The 0-2 pitch again from Long to the plate. Reynolds in the left center field. That one's going to get down. They're sending around Slaughter towards the plate. Throw goes to third. 1 run comes in. The score is 7-6. RBI single from Cole Reynolds in the clutch. Runners still on first and second. With 2 outs in the 9th, and Chance Sweeney will come up to the plate. If your heart isn't beating now, and you are not a diehard Hoppers fan who loves baseball, because this is a great nail-biting finish. Long, the pitch to Chance Sweeney, a called strike in the corner. These are the games that baseball are made of. A team with a 7-1 record. Held to the brinks here on the road. Going into Brooks Stadium, looking to snatch one from the Chiefs. The Chiefs have other plans. That pitch high and away, evens the count 1-1. On deck would be Dom Hartman. But the go-ahead is on first. Long stare in. With 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The 1-1 pitch now from Long to the plate. Off speed out towards left center field. That one gets down. They're going to wave the runner around. He's going to be getting the stop sign. Has to get back quickly. It's a good throw to the plate. Bases are loaded for the Hoppers. Two outs. Chance Sweeney with the single. That'll bring up Dom Hartman to the plate now. He's got Ryan McCartan on third. Cole Reynolds on second with a lot of speed coming off second base, and Chance Sweeney on first. Dom Hartman is 1 for 4 on the day with a single and a pair of strikeouts. He's hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. First pitch, a called strike. 0-1 count. Remember before the game, they were talking it up. Hartman and Jet Long. Long was telling him, hey, you never got a hit off me. What a time it would be to grab one right now. Pitch to the plate into right field. It's popped up, an MLB fly ball in the foul territory. Slide, and it lands foul. Oh, my goodness. I thought that was over, but the right fielder, Jack Robinson, cannot get to it. The count will be no balls and 2 strikes. Hartman from Taylor, Texas, will take a moment to step out of the right-handed box and to recalibrate. As he's in a hole to face Long. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Hoppers trail by 1. Trying to complete the comeback. The pitch now from the belt. Long is fouled out of play backwards, and we'll do the 0-2 over again. Oh my goodness. Heart's beating for me up here, and I'm sure Hartman's got to be doing whatever to keep himself calm. And remember, it's just a game, just an at-bat. Long set again. The pitch, the 0-2 goes to an off-speed to the plate. Ryan McCartan's coming home. Will slide in. He's safe. It's tied. It is tied. Hartman scores. McCartan scores, excuse me. And now 2 are in scoring position. Oh my goodness, the Hoppers have made the comeback finally, have tied it for the first time all game. The count will be 1-2 to Hartman as McCartan scores. 2 in scoring position with Reynolds on third and Sweeney on second. Both have plenty of speed. Now not as much pressure on Hartman to get a base hit, but really could use one here to try to slam the door in the bottom half of the ninth. Swings through one. Let's go the bat, and it is an out to end the inning. But right before that, a wild pitch McCartan comes across on, and now the Hoppers have to get 3 outs and see extras if they want to win this one. We head to the bottom of the ninth, tied 7-7 at Brooks Stadium. When in doubt, the Hoppers find a way. They trailed by 2 and scored 2 in the top of the ninth, tied at 7-7 as we're now in the bottom of the ninth inning. On the mound now, new player for the Hoppers. It'll be a recent graduate of Christian County High School. Andrew Mays takes the bump. In the order for the Chiefs, you'll see Landon Gilbert in the 6th spot, the third baseman, also a recent graduate. Committed to play at Cleveland State. First pitch to the bottom of the ninth, Andrew Mays squares around, pulls back, it's above the head for ball 1. Mays, this past spring with the Colonels, had a few impressive games. One in particular, he tossed a complete game shutout with 9 strikeouts, only allowing 6 hits. The 1-0 pitch squares around on for strike 1. Count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike with no outs on deck. Behind Landon Gilbert will be the catcher, Carson Reed. As the crowd falls silent for the 1-1. It's there, but it won't be called. 2-1 now is the count. As it looks like if Gilbert isn't going to swing, he crouches down and tries to shrink the strike zone in the eyes of the umpire. It worked on that one. The 2-1 swung on over towards Slaughter at second, who throws it the first in time for out number 1. There's one of the defensive changes. Slaughter over at second base. I want to thank you for joining us from wherever you're watching this game, whether it's back in Hopkinsville or on the beach, as Easton Beatty's mom is. Everywhere is a place you can watch Hoptown Hoppers baseball right here on the Hoptown Hoppers TV network here on YouTube. Want you to join us for all games. Of course, tomorrow they'll be off before being back at home against Full Count. First pitch to begin the at-bat. A curveball for a strike is how things get rolling against Carson Reed here in the ninth. Reed is 1 for 3 on the day, also reaching on a walk. So he's reached twice today. That one's found at a play on the right side. He's at an 0-2 hold against Andrew Mays, again in his first appearance for the Red and Black after finishing up a high school season with Christian County High School. A school that'll be combining with Hopkinsville High School and now be called the Christian County Tigers. Pitch is upstairs for a ball. The count now is 1-2 against Reed at the plate. Reed is the catcher who was influenced a lot by Yair Molina. As the pitch now in the dirt, count is even 2-2. Obviously, Yair Molina is the Hall of Fame catcher for the Cardinals, and a lot of fans listening will probably like hearing that, as a lot of people in the Hopkinsville area are Cardinals fans. That influence from Yair Molina is his reasoning to why he wanted to become a catcher, and obviously it's worked out for him, as now he plays at Vincennes University. There's the first punch out for Mays on the mound. Gets him looking for a K. 2 outs away in the bottom of the ninth. Two up, 2 down will bring up Jace England, the first baseman. He is 1 for 4 on the day. He had a single back in the second that he scored on. And then a ground out inning later after that, it's been a pair of strikeouts. Andrew Mays looking to send us to extras. As his first pitch now set, delivered, is outside for ball 1. Tried an off-speed. Right-handed pitcher versus a left-handed hitter right now. Set again from the stretch, delivers. It's down the right field line, but foul after 1 bounce. Count will be even 1-1 against England at the plate. From Clarksville, Tennessee, committed to play at Dyersburg State Community College. Stands 6'2" and 190 in the left-handed box to face Mays. The 1-1 pitch, found out a play on the left side. It's a 1-2. England in 22 at-bats going into this game had only 3 hits. He gets his 4th in this game. That's the only time he's reached so far today. Also has now 7 strikeouts on the year, 2 of them looking. Andrew Mays, the 1-2 pitch, inside, and it's 2-2. Looking to go 3 up, 3 down on the mound. Looks in for the sign, accepts. Goes from the belt with a 2-2 pitch, and it gets off the back. A hit by pitch now to Jace England. Puts the walk-off winning run on first. That'll bring up the 9th spot, Javon Andrews to the plate. Andrews this season has, before this game, 2 hits, 1 of a single, 1 a home run against the Hoppers at Tiger Field. That's his only home run of the year, 1 of 2 hits. And outside of that, he has really struggled against the rest of the Ohio Valley League. Today, though, for Andrews, he has gone 3 for 4 with a single, a double, and a home run, a triple away from the cycle. Pitch and off speed finds the corner for strike 1. Getting on the base pads is England, who so far this year does not have a stolen base, so not too much of a threat there, but you got to be worried because that's the winning run. Next pitch in the dirt. They even the count 1-1 for Mays delivering to Andrews. On deck would be Jack Robinson in the 1 spot. Andrew Mays, a long stare in, accepts the sign, looks over the first, and now is set on the rubber. Pitch to the plate, goes with the curve, and it's in there for strike 2. Finds the zone, and now it's a 1-2 count. 1 strike away from headed to the 10th. We haven't seen extras yet this year, but could today. The 1-2 pitch from Mays, a grounder over the Cole Reynolds at short, throws it to second for the easy out, and we are headed to extras for the first time this season. Hoppers score 2 in the top of the 7th to complete the comeback, tie it for the first time, and they'll hold the Chiefs scoreless in the bottom half of the inning. We go to the 10th inning, and there are some very interesting extra innings rules. Honestly, I don't have to. I'm not going to go anywhere for right now. As they ask the Chiefs what they want to do, here's how extras work in the Ohio Valley Conference, if you are unfamiliar with it. So, it is sudden death is how this works in the Ohio Valley League. They are going to play 1/2 inning and 1/2 inning only. Chris Benny discussing with the umpires right now. What you're seeing is him decide if he wants to be in the field or at the plate. Now, what happens here in their 1/2 inning is if the Chiefs score, let's say the Chiefs are hitting, because that's what it looks like right now. Well, let's put it this way. Whatever team is hitting, if they score, the game is over, they win. If the team in the field gets out of the 1/2 inning without giving up a run, the game is over as well, and the team in the field wins. So it's either the offense scores and that team wins, or the 1/2 inning is scoreless, and the field and the team in the field will win the game in extras. So it's our first time in sudden death as we head to the 10th inning. And I think we're still figuring out who's going to be where. I've been wondering for a while, what would Chris Benny pick? I think the thing I was telling someone before the game, actually the broadcaster for the Chiefs, was that I think it really depends on who we have available for us on the mound. And because the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, but the Hoppers have such limited pitching. Their pitching is stellar, but you can't burn through them all at once. And when you burn through a guy the day before, you can't bring him back the very next day, usually, obviously. So it really depends on who they have available, because they have really good bats, but obviously it hasn't been the best night of the plate for them. It looks like they're going to go to the field. It's an Andrew Mays back out there, and the Chiefs will be at the plate. We're still figuring out if this is the situation. Andrew Mays will be pitching. As now the head coach for Paducah in his first season for the Chiefs, Scott Tucker, is having a conversation with someone that I think is in charge of some of the rules here. Let's take a recap of how this game has unfolded. The Chiefs scored 3 in the second inning, and then they were held scoreless for 3 innings by Zach Hampton before Evan Jacob came in relief and gave up another 3 innings. The Hoppers trailed 6-0, but in the top half of the 7th after that, they saw 10 batters come to the plate. They scored 5 runs to trail by 1, and then in the bottom half of the 7th, they held the Chiefs scoreless before in the 8th inning. The Hoppers went 3 up, 3 down yet again. In this one, it was the 7th time they've gone 3 up, 3 down in this game. So the only innings they haven't were the 7th and the 9th where they scored. After that, the Chiefs scored 1 more in the 8th inning off a solo home run from Trey Dooley to make the score 7-5. And in the 9th inning, with 2 outs away, Caden Slaughter came around and scored off an RBI single. And then off a wild pitch, Ryan McCartan scored as well, and they tied it up to send us here to the bottom of the 9th. Andrew Mays threw 3 outs on the mound, including a strikeout to send us here to extras. So now with a runner on first, we're set for the 10th inning of sudden death. Andrew Mays still out there, the pitcher. The first pitch squared around on, popped up backwards and off the netting for strike 1. The runner on first, I believe, I was going to say Javon Andrews. It is Javon Andrews, the last out. It is Jack Robinson at the plate, the leadoff batter with 2 and 3 in the hole behind him. Jackson Supsky and Trey Dooley, who had that solo home run to make it 7-5 in the hole. Dom Hartman, the third baseman, pinched in a little bit. Batter squares around. Hartman's right there for it. Pulls back. It's a called strike and an 0-2 count. This is Mays' first bit of work for the Hoppers in their most critical situation we've seen so far. Last night was an electric back-and-forth game, probably the most exciting game of the year, and now they one-up themselves with an extra inning sudden death contest. Pitch in the dirt makes it a 1-2 count. Good idea with a chase pitch, but obviously Robinson does not bite. The Mount St. Joseph Cougar is set in the right-handed box as Mays looks over the first, now goes from the belt, delivers to the plate, gets off the bat for a foul ball, was pitched behind his head and hit the bat, so he gets saved there with a foul tip as the runner was starting to take off from first to second. Andrews goes back to first. The count's still 1-2. And the third base coach, also head coach Scott Tucker, is furious, yelling at the umpire to go check with his his field umpires. It was very extremely clearly off the bat. Again, I'm not meaning to be one way or another. I mean, obviously I'm in favor of the Hoppers, but being objective with it, it was clearly off the bat. He's still furious. I don't get what I don't know how he didn't see that from the third baseline. He just yelled a special 8-letter word at the umpire, and he was about probably 3 words away from getting an extra warning or toss. He's still arguing on his way back down to the third base coach's box, if you can call it that. Obviously nothing drawn out. I would get if he was the first base coach that couldn't see that, because Robinson's a right-handed hitter, and it was behind him, so from first base, probably can't see that as well, but from third base, it was clear as day. So count still 1-2, as we're set again with no outs in the 10th inning. Javon Andrews takes off, and there's the hit by pitch. Scott Tucker starts chirping again from third base of the home plate umpire. And runners are on first and second with no outs. As umpires kept his calm, I'm surprised he's not so furious. And how Ryan McCartan will call time to meet with Andrew Mays and Connor Scheidt on the mound. At the plate will be Jackson Supsky, who did not face the Hoppers last time. The whole infield is now having a meeting. They're talking about what they want to do with the ball right now and encouraging Andrew Mays, hey, throw strikes. You can trust us in the field. We are a very good defense. As he's probably nervous right now on the mound. He's also recently joined the team very, very late. And is still getting adjusted to all these guys who've already had over a week, over 2 weeks even. You want to include the first week where they had Meet the Hoppers night and a few other events as well to adjust to each other and learn who they were. They've meshed very, very well. And you've seen that with an early 7-1 record in the Ohio Valley League. Now they're playing sudden death for the first time with the high school graduate on the mound. Mays gets set again. The right-handed pitcher that faces the right-handed batter, Supski. Connor Scheidt is pinched in at first base with Dom Hartman at third, playing on the lip of the grass. Middle infielders about normal, ready for a double play. No outs still at sudden death. A dropper over to short. Cole Reynolds flips to third. They got the leadoff guy out. Leadoff runner is out at third by a step. Javon Andrews is out on the fielder's choice. So runners on first and second with one out. What a play from the entire left side of the infield. Cole Reynolds to know where he was going with it, and to flip it quickly, not really completely set for a full throw. Just give kind of that shovel toss over, and for Hartman to be running in, expecting a bunt, and then to get back to third in time for the outs. So Supski stands on first. Robinson on second. Trey Dooley at the plate. Boy, you better watch out for this bat. He had a screaming home run in the left field his last time up. First pitch is right down the middle for strike one. Runners on first and second with one out. A double play would end it. You do have a base open, though, if you're Andrew Mays. Looks and accepts the sign, working from the stretch. Delivers the pitch, goes with an off-speed above the head of Cole Reynolds. The throw coming in from left field. They're to send the runner home from second to the home plate. Tom Hartman's throw is there and not in time. It's a walk-off win for the Paducah Chiefs. Trey Dooley finally breaks his curse that he's been struggling with throughout the season, and the Chiefs get a home win over the first-place Hoppers, 8-7. Nothing to hang your hat on. If you're Andrew Mays, he looked good on the mound in his first appearance, and he was thrown a ninth inning with the game still tied. And sudden death for the first time this year. The Hoppers could not make the best of it. They lose and drop to 7-2 on the year, while the Paducah Chiefs move to 5-3. Again, will not be in action tomorrow. It's an off day for the Hoppers. After that, they'll be at home against the Full Count Rhythm. That game will be at 6:30 at Tiger Field. Come out for it. If you can't, you can join us here live on the YouTube page as well as WHOP 95.3. The Farm with the pregame show starting at 6:15. After that, they'll be on the road again at Fulton. But again tonight, Hoppers 7 runs on 5 hits against the Chiefs, 8 runs on 16 hits and 1 error. On behalf of the Hoppers organization, I'm Colin Crithers. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hoppers lose 8-7 on the road here in Paducah. I'll see you again in 2 nights when the Hoppers take on Full Count. Good night, everyone.